listening to the Super Awards Round, the annual award show podcast celebrating the past year of movies, TV, video games, anime, books, and cartoons. Hosted by John Mugiwara JM, Pecco, Jad Peanut,
Ollie says,
"Be sure to feed a piece of capitalism."
Christine,
Put her on my head, please.
Rudy,
He told him to touch grass and it killed him.
and Prince Luffy.
Everybody stop! I need to know what the fuck he's doing to that egg.
And most importantly, we reviewed nominees from categories created by us, and we all vote to see who the winner is. And this episode's categories include Performance of the Year by voice actors and voice actresses, as well as on-screen actors and on-screen actresses. And our top 3 games, movies, shows, anime, manga, books of the year. And most anticipated. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And now it's down to the wire. We're now getting down to the performance. However, we're going to do something a little tiny bit different this year. We wanted to give a special shout out to some performers that unfortunately were in things we nominated this year, but they passed away during production. So I believe Prince Luffy has volunteered to take this.
Yeah. We want to give a shout out to Johnny Hardwick, who has played Dale Gribble since the inception of King of the Hill, who passed away in 2022. Jonathan Joss, who played John Redcorn in King of the Hill, who was tragically murdered in 2025. And Kevin Conroy, who played the Vice President William Baines in Devil May Cry, who passed away in 2022.
Yeah, and Ian James Corlett filled in for him in certain scenes. Like there came a specific point in the show where that Kevin Conroy didn't get around to that part. And I was hoping that character got killed off, so that way there would be a reason for him to not be voiced by Kevin Conroy anymore. But after how that show ended, it's such a disservice that was Kevin Conroy's last role. I really wish it was that Crisis on Infinite Earths movie.
It really sucks that the last thing he was in.
As far as I know, Toby Huss took over for Johnny Hardwick.
Yes, and we have no clue what's going to happen with John Redcorn. John Redcorn might be retired because they're not even doing the cuck thing anymore anyway.
I was extremely broken up about Jonathan Joss hearing
especially since it happened on Pride Month.
Yeah. During Pride Month, not only for him to pass away, but during the execution of a horrific hate crime that, he and his husband were attacked. Their house was burned down. Their dogs perished in the fire. And the fact that many outlets, and especially the police, have been trying to frame him as the problem, despite the fact that they reported this, these incidents 40 sometimes, and were just,
and nothing happened,
ignored and treated as just horribly. So my heart out to his husband and all the people who knew and loved him. And I hope that we can do better in the future.
Yeah.
We have to.
What's really messed up is the police didn't label it as a hate crime until there was backlash. So guys, even if you think you saying something is not going to matter, speak up. Okay? Yeah. You never know who's listening.
Okay. Well, that being said, let's move on to our performance category. So if you guys remember from last year, I put together a reel of some of the best performances nominated by us. Unfortunately, I cannot show this on the video. However, if you join the Discord server, they will be in a little channel. You can watch them should you so choose before we show them to the host here. So we will cut ahead to when we decide to vote, or if we have any questions or need to provide any context for the scenes we watched, we may do so. So I will have, should you want to join our server, that you can watch the reels right there, because I cannot put them into video because I will get copyright slammed. So we have one of 4, and we're going to start with, hold on a second. I have a bunch of things open at the moment.
Actor
On screen.
On-screen actor performance of the year, and I believe Austin's presenting this one.
Yep.
Yes.
Correct. Now, the nominees are Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk.
D'Onofrio
As Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin in Daredevil Born Again. Jacob Elordi as the creature from Frankenstein. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise from It. Welcome to Derry.
That's a horrible middle name.
Jack Quaid as Nathan Kane in Novocaine. John Cena as Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker in Peacemaker. Walton Goggins as Baby Billy Freeman in The Righteous Gemstones.
Last
And
year's
our winner
in
from
this
last
category.
year. Yeah, he might win again.
Tramel Tillman as Seth Milchick in Severance Season 2. Michael B. Jordan as Elijah Smokemore and Elias Stack.
Elias
Stack from Sinners.
Woo!
David Cohen-Shred as Clark Kent, aka Superman in, Superman. And finally,
Nice.
Peter Dinklage as Winston Goose, aka Toxie in The Toxic Avenger.
And we'll see y'all after we watch the little reel I put together of their, not only their most important scenes, but the only ones I could find on YouTube without yar harring.
Har fiddly.
All right.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Anybody need any context for anything?
You gave me
Not
the ones I
really.
needed for the other scene. I got 'em- I got it from most of it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there were no other scenes for Toxic Avenger. That was literally the only one I could find. That wasn't a freaking trailer.
Hey,
Yeah.
can I go first?
I did want to
Yeah.
just note that Baby Billy is asking for $2 million and Coke because he is putting together a production of Teen Jesus that he calls Teen Jis, and he is
Oh my
playing
God.
Jesus.
What?
You could have told me it would have been anything. I still would have laughed. I'm like, he's asking for $2 million in Coke. It doesn't matter what he wants. It doesn't matter the
Okay.
reason.
I just feel like that context makes this so much fucking funnier.
Does
Does anybody need context for why Kingpin was screaming?
no?
Yeah,
I'm
what
gonna-
happened? What did the aide do?
He got drunk and was talking to a girl about, and he leaked a plan of his about busting a union to close a shoreline to build something where an abandoned factory was.
I see. The Severance scene, Tramel Tillman, just to kind of give some minor context, the white guy is his like superior in their company. Their company is essentially run like a cult, as it's become clear over the last couple of seasons. And one of the things he was told in his performance review was that people don't like that he uses too like complex language. He uses too big of words, which I think is quite a thing for two white people to tell a black man.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that eat shit was deserved.
Yes. He first said devour
Mhm.
feculence, which means eat shit. I'm like, yes, man, kill. Okay.
Does anyone need context for
actually-
the Toxic Avenger one?
Yeah, why the fuck is he?
Why was he singing
So-
Motorhead?
So, in the film, the main villain, his goons are like an insane clown posse type of band, only
I
they're
can
also
tell.
hitmen
Yeah,
for
that
hire.
vibe I got.
And they've been basically killing everyone, all of the main villains' perceived opponents. And then they almost killed a journalist who was going to expose he was polluting the town, but they accidentally killed Winston by accident instead, and they dump his body into toxic waste, which is how he mutated.
Oh, so this is like him coming back to show that he's still alive or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, so that's it.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Who wanted to go first?
Are we
Me.
are we voting right now or
Yes.
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 what? Okay, I'll go second.
Alrighty. This was actually really hard. So my first vote is gonna go to Bill because he is fantastic as Pennywise. Second is gonna go to John Cena. I knew he had the chops. And while he did win last year, I gotta give it to Walton again. This man is just his talent is unmatched. Then this was also really hard, but Mr. Trammell, because man, he did really good in that scene. And then David as Superman. I
All
think
right.
he is the best Superman we have seen in years.
Mhm.
Yep. Christine's turn.
Okay, Michael B. Jordan, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Walter Goggins because of that story. Thank you, Luffy.
Two more. You got
Got
two
two
more.
more.
I do. I thought.
Yes. I changed it because the rule is
Oh
The-
my God! Really? Okay. Well,
It's
now I have to. I have to go
amount
look
of
them all.
nominees divided by 2, but sometimes I add a hard mode by taking one away.
Well, if that's the case, Superman, and then damn. For me, this last one's tied between Novocaine and Peacemaker, and I hate it because that was really funny. And Novocaine.
Okay. I'll go next.
Okay.
John Cena, Vincent D'Onofrio, Bill Skarsgård, David, and I'm gonna give one to Peter Dinklage, singing Motorhead in that prosthetic.
Okay.
That won you over.
Yeah.
So I will go. I'm gonna give one to Walton Goggins.
Wait. Hang on. You got to go last. It's Austin's turn.
No, Austin.
no,
no,
was
I'm
last.
going
He
last.
presented.
Austin presented.
Wait. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Trammell Tillman.
It's hard,
Bill
isn't it?
Skarsgård. Yeah, this was really fucking hard.
Yeah, it was not easy for me. I was really thinking about it for like weeks.
Michael B. Jordan and David Cornsweet. I don't
think we know how to pronounce that.
Okay, my turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna vote for Michael B. Jordan, David Cornsweet. Let's see, Peter Dinklage, John Cena, and let's see. And you know what? I'm gonna give one to Vincent D'Onofrio.
So who wins?
Our
Superman.
winner is David Cornsweet.
Yay! It was close though. Walton almost won again.
He
He would
almost
have been
did.
yeah, he would have had 2 for 2. Okay, so it's now time for on-screen actress, and Rudy is presenting this one.
Yep.
All right. So now it's time to talk about our ladies of the screen, the queens of movies. We are now going to be talking about the on-screen performance from an actress. We have got the amazingly talented Danielle Brooks as, is it Leoto?
Leota Adebayo.
Leoto Adebayo from Peacemaker. We have the crazy talented Patricia Arquette as Harmony Coble in the second season of Severance. The stunning Rhea Seehorn as Carol Sturka in Pluribus. The perfect and flawless and beautiful Wanami Moscow as Annie from Sinners. The crazy, amazingly talented Florence Pugh as Lena Boleva in Thunderbolts, the flawless Julia Gardner as Justine Gandy in Weapons, and last but certainly not least, Sophie Thatcher as Natalie Nats Gartaccio in Yellow Jackets Season 3.
There
All
we
right,
go.
and let's go watch their performances real quick. We'll see you guys when we're done watching.
All right, let's do it.
We have to try to do better and nominate more women. I'm sorry, women.
All right.
Wow.
Are you finally awake?
Right?
No, not on the keyboard, not on the keyboard, buddy. No.
See, murder attracts
But
him.
Daddy, you're not paying attention to me.
That scene fucked me up hard.
All right, who wants to go first?
Dad.
R.I.P. Mr. Fuck Them Kids. I
This
love
is
that.
the- It's still 3, right?
Yep.
I'll
Okay,
go
good.
first.
Nah, I was about to. Whatever.
Let's
Oh,
see.
go ahead.
I choose
Okay, Austin goes first. I'll go
Mosaku
second.
from Annie. Danielle Brooks from Peacemaker. I haven't seen all of season 2 yet, but I remember loving her character in the first one season. And let's see, one more. Oh boy. And I'm going to give it to Julia Garner.
Okay, Christine wants to go again.
Okay, Danielle Brooks, Sophie Thatcher, and Florence Pugh.
All right, I'm going to go next. I'm going to give one to Danielle. I'm giving one to Florence. And because I'm still mad that she didn't win a single Emmy for her time in Better Call Saul, I'm giving her what she deserves. Rhea Seehorn.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Understandable.
Lucy?
Okay, this was super, super duper fucking hard for me.
It was.
Yeah.
It was hard for
Yeah.
me too.
I'm going to give one to Patricia Arquette. One to Sophie Thatcher because that scene still just devastates me, and one to Danielle Brooks.
I guess that leaves Rudy.
And this was hard for me
And-
too. I feel bad that I could not nominate all of them because I think they all did really well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta go with Wound Me as Annie. And the scene that you guys chose for Rhea was perfect. So Rhea. And of course, Danielle Brooks. I
She
love
wins.
her. She was perfect.
Danielle Brooks.
And she wins!
Congratulations, Danielle Brooks!
Yay!
Excellent. Swans.
Oh, this is the second year a black woman has won. Wow.
Yep.
Hoping to see you in more DC Universe stuff.
All right.
Right.
So now it's
Is-
time for voice actor, and I'm presenting this one.
Okay.
All right. So one thing that does bother me a lot about award shows is on-screen actors are given more deference than voice actors, and when voice actors are given their due, it's usually for facial capture or performance capture, not voice work. So I created this category with voice actors in mind, but we expanded to on-screen actors to include them as well. So I chose to present this one because voice acting is very, very important to me because you are projecting your entire acting entirely under your voice, and no one can see what you could be in the booth in your pajamas and you could be giving a Shakespearean performance. And the nominees are for this year's voice actor performance of the year: Maxence Carzola from as Eskia in Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Ben Starr as
Maybe.
Verso Desandra in Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Also, woo,
Andy Serkis as Renoir Desandra in Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Eric Bauza as Daffy Duck and Porky Pig in The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Troy Baker as the voice and performance capture of Higgs Monaghan in Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Aaron Paul as Scott Duvall, otherwise known as Powerplex in Invincible. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Conquest in Invincible. Samoa Joe as Raymond Law in Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. His likeness and his voice. Greg Chun as Kaname Date in No Sleep for Kaname Date from AI The Somnium Files. And Alex Lee as Sung Jin Woo in Solo Leveling. Oh yeah, we're back and we're voting unless anybody has any they need.
nope.
Okay. The voice of SK I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm so sorry.
Maxence Corzola, I believe.
Mazex Corzola. Eric Bauza. Troy Baker. He's really good at playing a despicable fuckwad. These last two were pretty hard. Jeffrey Dean Morgan did a really good job as Conquest. Like, that line delivery was chilling. And I gotta give it to my boy Greg Chun. Dante is such a hapless moron of a man, and I can't help but love him. So Greg brings him to life.
Yep. Voice of an angel, but he plays a complete fucking dumbass. Austin, you want to go next?
Yeah, I vote for Ed Bowser, Troy Baker, Maxine Cazorla.
Cazorla, I think. I won't judge anyone. I don't know how to pronounce that myself.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Conquest, because that performance gave me a chill.
Yeah, I was like, did it just get cold in here?
And, let's see this tricky. And
we had some really good nominations this year.
And Andy Serkis.
You can't
Okay,
go
let
wrong
me
with Mr. Serkis.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go. Esquier Verso. What?
Damn it, John. Did you just hear him go wee?
I heard go wee.
Did you? I did.
Yes, he did.
Oh, whatever. Stop. Higgs, our lovable idiot Kaname Date, and
Yeah.
Alex Lee.
All right. Both Invincible picks.
To the surprise of no one.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I will admit it was hard. Aaron Paul did a really good job.
Eric
we were going to narrow them down, but the both of them are their own reason.
Yeah. Troy Baker. Andy Serkis.
Okay. So I'm going to go with the homie Esquier.
Yay.
Gonna give one to Greg Chun for Kaname Date. He is the funniest. He's like the sexiest idiot I can think of on this list. Yeah, Greg Chun. Did I say Troy Baker yet?
No.
Troy Baker. Troy Baker, Esquier, Greg Chun. Gonna give one to Samoa Joe. And I'm going to give one to Ben Starr.
Do we have a tie?
Do we have a tie?
No, I'm pretty sure Troy Baker took it.
Everybody voted for Troy Baker.
Okay.
All right, we corrected a wrong that made by Jeff Keighley. Troy Baker got one for a performance that actually was good.
Again, though, that was really hard.
And our final category of this year is the best voice actress performance of the year. Who was the host for this one?
Me.
Luffy.
Okay.
All right. We have Jennifer English as Mayel in Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Barbara Goodson as Turbo Granny in Don Da Don. Jenny Kidd as Pauline in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Deborah Wilson as Queen Michelle in Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yeah, Jingle
Erica
Bell.
Harleshare Stone as Aiba in No Sleep for Kaname Date from AI The Somnium Files. Adrian Ray as Hazel Flood from South of Midnight.
All right. And let's take a listen and watch of our performers' nominees' performances.
All right.
You ready to vote?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm last.
Okay.
How many votes? 5? Are we still
Three,
doing
because
5?
there was only a couple of nominees. I'll
Okay,
go
well,
first.
never mind. I got them then.
I'll go first. Gotta
I
give
was-
one to the Jennifer English for Ismael. giving one to Jenny Kidd. She was the emotional anchor for Donkey Kong because she was the only character with voice acting. And I got to give it to Erica Harlacher Stone for portraying a vastly intelligent AI that is done with a moron shit.
I'll go. Mael, Turbo Granny, and our girl Iba.
Okay, I'll go next.
All right.
Jenny Kidd, Deborah Wilson, and Adrian Ray.
Okay. I got Turbo Granny, Iba. This is hard. I gotta give it to Adrian Ray. So,
All right.
Luffy.
I'm giving it to Jenny Kidd, Deborah Wilson, and Adrian Ray.
It's a 3-way tie between Pauline, Iba, and Hazel Flood.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you okay. So you are in a foreign country, and through your clumsiness, you actually drop some spaghetti on the floor. But in that country, it is a great insult for you to drop spaghetti on the floor. You are then taken to the ruler of this country, and they said, the only way I will forgive you is if you show me a performance that will move me. It has to make me either laugh, or it has to make me think. It has to just move me in some way. Which performance are you showing him?
Hammy Ham.
Jenny Kidd.
Dad?
Jenny Kidd, yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Jenny Kidd.
Pauline wins. Donkey Kong wins one finally.
Finally.
And that is our final category of this edition of the Super Awards round. But before we go, we have 2 more segments left. So this is where we're going to talk about our top 3s of the year. This is everything going across movies, games, TV shows, anime, manga, whatever. So because not everybody has a massive list like me of like top, I always do a top 10 every year, but I've narrowed it down to a top 3 to make everything fair. So does anybody want to go first, or should I go to set the tone?
You can go to set the tone.
Okay, so what we're going to do differently this year is if anybody shares a top 3 with another presenter here, they're going to talk together. For this first one, no one else has this on their top 3s. So my number 3 game of the year was Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I got Death Stranding 1 as a Christmas gift from Austin the year it came out, and I had not touched it until just this year because the second one was coming out, and doing this podcast, I wanted to be caught up on all the stuff that was happening this year. And I was always a Hideo Kojima fan, and I wanted to check this out, but I had to play the first one first. Fortunately for me, I was unemployed when I started playing it, because otherwise I would have never gotten to that. Death Stranding 2, definitely, I can say this as somebody who has played the first one immediately playing this. I think it is one of the epitome examples of a video game sequel that iterates on the first entry and improves upon what it didn't do right, narratively and gameplay wise. The first game was notoriously difficult in how they made delivering across the environment very, very difficult, but they streamlined it after people complained this time.
Nice.
I thought it was a very touching story, very moving, and with Kojima, very poignant because it has a massive anti-AI message in it.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
this was my number 2, and then a certain little something that didn't make the cutoff, but it didn't matter because I didn't have any categories for it, came along. So that's my number 3 game of. So as for movies, I'm sure almost everybody here shares this with me on some level. My number 3 movie of the year is K-pop Demon Hunters.
So it's done. Done.
The K-pop Demon Hunters, I was mildly interested in it because I was always down with Sony Pictures Animation's work. I loved what they did with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, although sometimes I'm not always into what they do because they also made Angry Birds in the Emoji Movie.
Oh God.
So when Spider-Verse came around, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop sleeping on them and check them out. I remember right after a convention where I was sore all over my body from walking all weekend and also developing an injury I have later found out. Christine and I decided to put on K-pop Demon Hunters after we were suffering from post-con depression. And that movie got us out of it because it's amazing. While it's not perfect narratively, I do have some issues with the story and how some characters, specifically the other 2 members of Huntrix, didn't get much development. I also am not a big fan of Rumi and Jinu's quote-unquote romance. I thought the movie on the whole was incredible. I can finally say we have this generation's Frozen, because it has basically taken over with the kids, and the kids are all right in this respect because it's a great movie. Like the warts that I have with it are very minimal in the grand scheme of things. I'm glad it's taken over pop culture. It even got its own little number right at the end of the Macy's parade. Yeah, I'm sure many other people here have said better things about this movie than I can, but in terms of animated movies, this is my favorite. It would be number 1 were it not for 2 even more stellar entries that I gotta give props to.
Mm-hmm.
So this is shared among several people in their. What does everybody else rank this at so that we know?
I will go ahead.
Like I said before, I don't really.
I don't
are you in the
either.
games or are you still in movies?
We're in the movies now. This is the K-pop Demon Hunters is my number. So this is at least in everybody's category. Does anybody else have anything they want to add before I move to my other number 3?
Okay, so I, like a lot of people, didn't have. I was excited about this film because I'm always excited about new animation and everything, and I really love it when there is original stories, and I love musicals. And it was really refreshing to see, a totally original idea do so well. And I agree with John. Really, I think the only issue I had is that Zoe and Mira do not get enough screen time, and the romance between Rumi and Jinu feels extremely forced. But even with that, I still think the movie is fantastic because it at the end, it is not Rumi's romance with Janu that saves the day. It is her friendship and kinship with the other Huntrix members, and it's also very there was this long period of time where people said movies featuring women did not make money, and it can't be any less true. This movie has been a massive success, and I love it. And Saja Boys forever, even though they're demons, I love them.
All right. Does anyone else have anything to add before I move to my number 3 show?
Yeah, Christine, you put this as your number 1.
That's not it. That's not in any order.
Yeah, Christine.
You guys don't. You guys aren't doing this in any order.
Yeah, establish that we don't do orders.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So my number 3 television show was a latecomer. This was something I didn't watch until a week ago. It Welcome to Derry. So I've been trying to get into horror movies after dipping my toes in horror games for a while now. And I wanted to start with the It reboot movies that came out a little while ago, but I've been too much of a chicken shit to even bother. I don't think that's going to be a problem now because I watched It Welcome to Derry after a friend of mine, shout out to Tara on Blue Sky, a good friend of mine. She's a huge Stephen King fan, and she posted a meme of that meme of the golden retriever next to a werewolf in Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The golden retriever was it chapter 1 and 2, and Welcome to Derry was the werewolf, and I was like, the show is better than the It movies. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe it's good I waited. I have yet to watch the It movies to compare, but Welcome to Derry, that certainly was a ride. Did not know what to expect, but I took my friend who is a big King fan at their word that this was good, and I really did enjoy it. That definitely delivered better on the scares than say something like Stranger Things did. Here's the thing about that, and this is like loosely related, but I want to bring it up. We just watched the Stranger Things finale last night. I'm not going to get into spoilers, but I will tell you this: I think Welcome to Derry delivers on the scares better than Stranger Things does. But personally, I think Stranger Things does better on like the character and emotional moments better than Welcome to Derry does.
Okay.
Where I think there's like several scenes in Welcome to Derry that mortified me. There's one in particular where the character does not die, otherwise they would have been on Craziest Death this year. I had literally had to shut my eyes and not look at the screen. It was so disgusting. Like Austin thought the torture scene in Novocaine was bad. Oh my god, this one was so much worse for me. I figured, and honestly, this might be a good way for me to get started into the It franchise, because this takes place before the It movies. So I'm basically going in chronological order now. I definitely, the kid actors in this are fantastic. Maybe not as good as the kids in the Stranger Things original seasons, but I think they did a pretty good job here. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this, especially considering the later seasons are actually going backwards in time as opposed to forward. Because why would you go forward? Forward's the movies. So it'll be interesting to see where they take this. I really did enjoy it. And shout out to that theme song for knocking me the fuck out every time I hear it. All right, well, that's my top threes. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Okay, let's
I also realized I wasn't moving the pictures along.
Back. Okay, so number 3, my top 3 games is actually a game I played with John, Split Fiction. Now, this was actually my first Joseph Forrest game after John and Christine played It Takes Two, and they were going to play this together, but when Christine dropped out, John offered me a friend pass to play with him, and I absolutely had a time of my life. Like, not only was it a hilarious game, and that freaking pig level, man.
Big level.
That's how the sausage is made.
Stop it.
But I absolutely love the character development and dynamic between Mio and Zoe. You learn more about them, and Zoe comes up a ray of sunshine, but she has a lot of unprocessed trauma. And Mio begins to open up with her. And not to mention, the main villain is one of those tech companies. Which is very poignant considering how we're in a time when AI is trying to just steal everyone's work and regurgitate it.
Yeah, and he's using those machines not to like make their story life. He's like using it to steal their ideas before they've even written it down. Mm-hmm. It also helps that he's the second most evil man in the world named JD.
Oh my god. And also the co-op mechanics I really love. Like, you cannot play this game solo. You need another person.
Yeah, you physically cannot. The game will not let you.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, so this is definitely a really fun co-op game. For you and your bestie.
And that finale still blows me away how they were able to accomplish pulling off like, rapidly changing art styles in real time, and like the screen, the split screen that you normally see when you're playing 2 players, it's like literally changing, and like the level art style and all that is changing in real time as you're moving along, while also trying to dodge enemies and also like slide. It's crazy. It needs to be seen to be believed. It's even incredible they even got on the Switch too to work. Mm-hmm. It's you got to see it to believe it. Like, this would be higher up where Honestly, this was a great year for games. Like this would be higher if it weren't
Oh,
for the
yeah.
other stuff I played.
We got some really good games this year.
Like this was gonna be this was like my number 3 until I got to Death Stranding.
Okay, and now movies. My number 3 top favorite movie, Frankenstein. And yeah, there's like this was a dream project Guillermo del Toro wanted to do for years. Like he had a chance at Universal, but when they want him to oversee an entire monster cinematic universe, he said nah. And it won't be until his breakout success with Pinocchio at Netflix and when he signed that overall deal that he was able to bring this to life. Now, as someone who hasn't read the original book, I wasn't aware of how many creative liberties the classic Universal movie took with the source material.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so many.
Yeah. And so I was confused at first when I saw that snowy tundra, but then I was just captivated. Like Oscar Isaac's performance as the Dr. Frankenstein himself, of how he starts out sympathetic, but then comes his arrogance and how he just basically turns into his father. But the creature, I mean, Del Toro is able to find humanity in the unusual or what people consider to be monsters, and he perfectly pulled that off with the creature himself, of making him a very sympathetic character, and especially his journey. I remember getting a bit teary-eyed when he met the old man and his death. And oh my god, yeah, it's just an amazing film. And I am definitely looking forward to what he does next. Okay, that's my movie, and let me see shows. Oh, better late than never, but new panty and stocking with garter belt.
Panty stocking, panty stocking.
What they over the decade-long wait, especially considering the legal limbo the show was in with Aniplex,
which is no longer existent.
Yeah, and see, Trigger managed to pick up the rights and finally get it back on track. I guess, especially with Prime Video supporting them, and thankfully, no AI-generated voice acting.
Oh, thank God.
I still am upset though that the original Funimation cast could not come back. Jamie Marchi and Monica Rial were fantastic as the English voices of Pain and Stocking. That said, thank God they changed Garter Belt to dub voice.
Yeah, they actually got back, man. Voice him.
I can't even think about the AI to do something like that to Banana Fish. That's just evil.
And like, it was just.
Yeah.
I actually think it's raunchier than the first series, mainly because it's on Prime Video, so they can get away with showing nudity. And
yeah, in that respect, yeah.
And like that, and I also enjoyed the character development and with some of the episodes, like Panty taking care of 5, shows the sweet side of her that we don't usually see, and also with the Demon Sisters being more active characters, like an unwilling protagonist. And also seeing the dynamics with the Angel sisters evolve over time.
Yeah, I like that there were some episodes that mixed up the dynamics between them, and I also like the like as you learn, like no, they're just as lazy as Penny and Stocking.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention Twink Angels now.
Yeah, about time equal opportunity came to the show.
And towards the end, it's such a found family dynamic, or as they say, a family of bitches.
Yeah, that finale was wild. I didn't think they could top the finale of the original. They certainly did. That went crazy.
And here's hoping we don't have to wait another 10 years for season 3.
Fingers crossed.
From
specifically our middle fingers
lips to Amazon's ears, I guess.
Okay, so who's next?
Who's number 3?
Next.
Oh, okay.
I could go. So first up is, I didn't really put these in any order, but we'll do my the one that's number 3. Yep. Date everything. Rudy loves herself a dating sim. Okay, she's been a self-insert girly for years, And I also like it when dating sims don't take themselves too seriously. So a game in which you're basically dating all the objects in your house.
Mm.
That's such a fun, silly idea. I love it. And they're so clever with like the objects in general. And there's so much body diversity. It's not just a bunch of generic like anime looking characters. Um One of my favorites, like there's a bunch of okay, so you go into your closet and there are hangers, and it's not just one person, it's five, and they're the Hanks. And they're himbos, and they are so freaking sweet, but they're so earnest.
They're like a
And like literally,
Sentai team.
yeah, basically they're like, I'm Hank number one, I'm Hank number two, and I'm like, oh my, I love them.
And
And not
Johnny
only
Boss
that,
voices
but
all of them.
there are multiple non-binary characters. Um it's really clever, and I like that there's like also like an actual plot of, like, it turns out, so what happens is you started your job at a Amazon, like
Don't tell us too many spoilers because
I won't.
Austin and just started playing it.
I will not tell you that many spoilers. I will not spoil the hidden characters, but you're basically you get fired from your like Amazon like job, but then you get a pair of date viators. Um, it's you put on the glasses and you discover a character named Skylar, and she explains to you what she is, and yeah, so it turns out that you can date the stuff in your house, and there's some sort of like conspiracy stuff going on. It's just again very clever, and I love the character designs too.
Even Jean-Noir Pichois.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with with him. He's so funny.
See, that's the thing. The game is hilarious, and it's also very obvious that the people who made this are also just big dorks, because there's a reference to most popular girls in school, which is like one of my favorite internet things.
Oh my
It's
god,
just
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yes, there is a character who is very she's very abrasive, and she literally she says, "Who's the fuck are you?" And then you say the same thing, and she goes, "I asked." I think it's like, no, I think you say, "Who are you?" And she goes, "Who the fuck are you?" I asked you first. I asked you second. It's just, it is very obvious that the people who had fun with this, you know, game. I really love the design. I'm loving all the characters. It's just, this is a game that was made for Rudy, and she is loving every moment of it.
Yeah, I think the main creative leads were this. So there's this trio of voice actors, Robbie Damon, Ray Chase, Max Middleman. They have like a comedy troupe called Lava, which stands for Loud and Very Annoying. And I think they spearheaded this project.
I believe that's
Yeah,
true.
'cause
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so moving on to books. Rudy tried to read a lot this year. She unfortunately did not get to her goals, but she's going to fix that in 2026. But this was one I read for book club, and I had heard of it, called The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. So it takes place in a world where supernatural creatures exist, and it is about this just kind of hapless guy named Linus Baker. He's not like particularly good at his job. He's not very popular or anything, but he gets a job to go look at an orphanage, because he's works for a department that focuses on magical use and everything. And there is a orphanage that is on this island, and the kids are a gnome named Talia, a wyvern named Theodore, a forest spirit named Fee, a boy named Sal, a creature named Chauncey, and the Antichrist named Lucy. The Antichrist is in an orphanage.
I like that. Lucy for Lucifer.
Yes. And this is just a little spoiler, but Linus falls in love with the mysterious caretaker of the orphanage. It's a man, so it's gay. So yeah, of course I like it. But I want to talk about this one character. His name is Chauncey. He's some sort of like amorphous blob kind of creature. They don't know what he is. You want to know what this little boy's dream is? This sweet little angel baby of a creature. He wants to be a bellhop.
Huh.
That's, you know what? You do you, baby.
And see, the thing that's like when he meets Linus, he's like, I want to take your bags. He's so happy about the idea of being a bellhop, and nobody like tells him that he probably can't do it because it means so much to him. It was such a sweet story because it is obvious that like at first Linus is kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy my time here, but it is obvious that he starts to like the kids. He gets to learn more about them and the mysterious caretaker. And he has this like really great speech at the end. It was really sweet. And it also just, again, there was a lot of humor in it that was really funny. It wasn't too over the top. It was very subtle and witty. And I like that kind of stuff. And again, it's gay, so of course I liked it. So yeah, I highly recommend it. It was one of the best books I had read in 2025.
And let's see. Oh yeah, you already did the number 3 for movies.
Yes.
Your number 3 is K-pop Demon Hunters, which we talked about at length.
Okay, I think it's Luffy's turn.
All right, let's do it. I would like to talk about the Righteous Gemstones first, I think. So my friend Sabs recommended this show to me. They said, look, I think that you'll really like this. It's very fun. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I ended up loving it. I binged all 4 seasons in like a week. The premise of this show is that the 3 gemstone children played by Danny McBride. One sec. I always forget the Edie Patterson and Adam Devine are like none of them are in control of the church, but they basically, them and their father, who's played by John Goodman, are a mega church. Like they run a gigantic line of mega churches. And all of them are, they portray themselves as, very righteous people. Because obviously the dad's a pastor, and the sons are like shaping up to be pastors, and but in reality all of them are, to say the least, extremely flawed individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a recurring theme with you.
Yeah, it is. But like they I like I like this because I actually do believe that most all of these people who run these fucking mega churches are fucking scum. It's all about money. It's not about the word. It's not about like anything like that, And I think that this is a good portrayal of that, while also at many points making them interesting and sympathetic characters. Adam Devine's character is like in denial about the fact that he's gay. And him and his like charge, Keith, are like Kelvin and Keith. His name's Kelvin, and his like charge Keith. They are, everything they do, especially the first few seasons, is like so incredibly homoerotic, but without acknowledging what it is. Eventually he does come out, so good for them. But every relationship in this is deeply dysfunctional, to the point that it is just absolutely hysterical. The cast is banging. Like the villain of the first season is Walton Goggins, who is the brother-in-law of John Goodman's character, his deceased wife's brother, who was upset that like the gemstones, including, you know, his sister, had risen to prominence and money and stuff when previously him and his sister were like a religious duo act.
I see.
And like, I just think that comedically, the show is very strong. I was impressed. I did not think I was going to like it as much as I did, but I actually do. I do recommend it. Thank you, Sabs. You know me so well. All right, movies.
Yeah,
The Long Walk.
I will say one thing about the Righteous Gemstones. The only thing I know about it is friend of the channel and co-contributor Rich frequently and nonstop quotes, "That makes my bird twitch" from the show. And the more he does it, the more. And after listening to your making the case for it, the show's over. I might as well just watch it now.
Yeah. Let's talk about The Long Walk. So, The Long Walk is my favorite Stephen King novel. It is one that I reread at least once a year. I found it in 2017 when I decided to read pretty much Stephen King's entire bibliography that year. The story behind that is kind of silly. When I was young, the first Stephen King book that I tried to read in middle school was Pet Sematary, and I fucking hated it. But as an adult, I was like, maybe I should like give his stuff a try. So I ended up reading like almost everything. And then I was like, I'm going to give Pet Sematary a try again. And I still fucking hated it. So it turned out the whole time that I just hated Pet Sematary and not Stephen King. All right. So The Long Walk, if anybody is unfamiliar, is a death contest. In the book, it's 100 boys. In the film, it's 50. Have to walk until there's only one left standing. It's just, it's a dystopian setting, and I love it. I have been obsessed with the idea that Ray Garrity is heavily coded as bisexual with the character Peter McVrise, and I've been arguing this for years, literally years at this point. I almost got banned from the Stephen King subreddit for arguing this repeatedly because I believe that coding is there, and I believed it for so very long. The movie made it contextual. The movie made them actually say they love each other. Thank you to the movie for doing this for me.
So then you can go back to that subreddit and go, "A bitch says what?"
Right? So like, I've been worried about them like adapting this because I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to do it well, because like compared to other death contests, this certainly isn't a Hunger Games or a Battle Royale. But they managed to do it so well. And they modernized it mildly in a way that I really liked. They got rid of some characters and they race bent a lot of them. And I'm a big fan of that. I like that they did that and gave more actors of color roles. Mark Hamill as the scary major who's like in control of like the dystopia, like military and whatnot, who helps like run this contest. Fantastic. I love Mark Hamill. Who knew he could play a I guess it was like his Joker coming out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He ever since the Joker, he's been playing all kinds of different. I mean, he's Ozai. He the Joker.
Yeah.
He was. Well, none of you guys would know this. He was Emperor Griffin in Dark Cloud 2.
Yeah, he plays a good villain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and top manga. Let's talk about Soulmate. So Soulmate fucked me up for days. I love this. This is actually a manhwa. It originated in China. The plot line of it is that the character Yuki, who is on the right, is like, she wakes up one day and she is in bed in the arms of this like gorgeous woman. And this woman tells her, actually, she's 27. She's 27. They've been dating for years. And it turns out what happened is that her 17-year-old self and her 27-year-old self swapped time periods. So her 17-year-old self is living through her high school years and decides to start pursuing her girlfriend 1Z sooner than she did in reality, like in the original timeline. But she also, like the young Wonki, realizes that her girlfriend is in the modern is terminal. She has a terminal illness. And at least they think at this point, because it turns out it's actually extremely hard to get organ transplants in China. And she has issues with her kidneys. And I don't know how to explain how deeply this touched me. It is the most sweet, wholesome exploration of will you love me in any universe? Will you love me at any timeline? And like, I was in tears for a good 90% of it. It's just one of those things that kind of made me like incredibly sad to still be single, but also just want to believe that love like that is out there. Also, the art's beautiful.
Yeah, just going off of the cover, looks nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Okay, Christine. Oh no, wait. Do you have more, Luffy?
No, we can move forward. We're cycling.
Okay.
Well, we're cycling through our threes. Did you do your number three? Well, whatever you want to be your number three movie. Okay. Well, Christine, it's time for your number threes of your choosing.
Probably we've already covered this though, but I'll mention it again. You already know Deltarune.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I also replayed the first couple chapters right before 3 dropped. Toby Fox continues to never miss.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's everything you love, like about Undertale. It's silly, but also very heartfelt. The characters are fantastic. The music is phenomenal. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked. We actually have in a much earlier episode podcast talked at length about this one, so we don't have to dwell too much on it.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to the next chapter, which is allegedly going to be coming this year. Things can change. Game development can be really hellish sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't work in game dev, but I've worked on long form projects. Anything can happen at the 11th hour. It could be a 2027 thing. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he still does most of it himself. So, like,
he does have a team now.
Isn't it still a fairly small team?
He's still very small, but he does have a team. Like because he has like a chronic injury that he sustained, so he can't work on it all the time. So that's why he has to work with a team now. And last I heard, Chapter 5 is in the translation phase, so
yep, and
may not be much longer.
They're to be honest, they're in the newsletter. They're actually they're actually like in mid chapter 6.
Yep. They're translating Chapter 5, which means not much longer until the Chapter 5 is out. Because the translation for the localizations for Japan and other countries and languages, that's last.
Yay!
As far as I know, he only does Japanese. It hasn't actually been legally released.
That's what it seems like. It's Japanese and English.
There's been complaints about that.
Yeah, but I think he's trying to work that out too. All right. That was your number 3, quote unquote.
Okay, I don't think I need to go over Solo Leveling or Twisted Wonderland, but My Hero Academia, I definitely do.
Yeah, because that just ended.
Yeah. Oh my god. this show is great. So
Yeah.
Very true.
yeah, how many seasons was this? 7?
7 or yes, it was 7. It was 7, and I think this was the shortest one because this season was literally just the like you got the. We're going to talk about spoilers, like minor, not too big, but
At this
it was
point,
just.
I think it's most people know.
Okay, so like we got the motivation behind the villain All for One and why he's doing what he's doing, and I don't sympathize with him. He is a complete fucking jackass. But I feel more sympathetic to Shigaraki, the guy he was enabling to destroy the world with his decay ability. And it was just it was the end of that fight, and the anime I think expounded upon like. Most anime, when there's like a big climactic battle, they shove like the what's everyone up to now in like the last episode. This show, on the other hand, gave it like a couple of episodes instead of just one, which I thought was great. Because I don't like, oh, this person's doing this now. This person, okay, thanks for years of watching. We're done now. Fuck off. See ya. The show didn't do that.
The only thing that I disliked about the ending was that they made him add to it. Initially, he just wanted to end on the kind of the ambiguous ending of, Bakugo just coming in and getting Deku without there being any push for like ships or anything like that. And
the fans let him have it.
Shonen Jump wouldn't let him have it. Because the fandom, including myself, were like, oh my God, ambiguous BL implied ending. Baku Deku wins.
Oh, no, I hate Deku.
But
you hate Deku?
You don't like Deku?
No, not Deku. No, Bakugo. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't let Rich hear that. Don't let Rich hear that.
Don't let him hear that. Don't let him hear that.
I adore Bakugo and Deku as a couple. I enjoy
Me
their
too.
development.
It's awesome.
It's hot.
He's a dick. There's not a single likable thing about him.
Excuse me.
He matures.
He does mature, and he is instrumental in the final battle.
I liked his character arc
Same.
a lot.
Same.
But my
we can all agree.
For it.
We can all agree. No one likes Mineta.
that guy can fucking die.
It's annoying. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need the perv character to just stop. I need that to stop.
Yeah,
being a trope.
no.
Mineta and Sanji could go sit in the cuck chair. Quack, quack, quack. But anyway, I think, as far as I know, every major plot line was resolved. And I did like that one of the big plot lines that I was happy got resolved was Endeavor was not immediately forgiven at all. Like he's atoning for what he did to his son. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get into it, but
oh, thank God.
Endeavor Todoroki's father was a very abusive family.
Yeah.
He's atoning for it by he's retired from hero work because he literally can't use his powers anymore. He lost his arms too. He's wheelchair bound, so he's devoting the rest of his life to visiting his horribly scarred son that he abused, who turned into a villain. He's visiting him in prison every day, and the family's basically split up. It's like, okay, it's good that you're atoning, but I still want nothing to do with you. Which, after watching Sasuke get immediately forgiven at the end of Naruto, I'm like, thank God we're moving as a species away from forgiving somebody just because they're a popular character.
I feel like there's also, there's a difference between you can forgive somebody, but that doesn't mean that you have to rebuild your relationship with them.
Yes, I have a personal motto about that specifically. It's called forgive, but don't forget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to forget.
I guess you could not, it's not quite the same, but you could kind of contrast it with Bakugo having like a heartfelt apology with Deku and their relationship moving forward.
Oh yeah, like that. Like me hating Bakugo was like, I don't know, 3 seasons ago because he made up for it. He's still kind of mean. He's still kind of mean to him. But what group of friends aren't slightly mean to each other? Austin.
I mean, that's just kind of his personality. Wow. That's his mom's personality too. Like that just.
Oh yeah, he gets it from his mother.
I love his mom.
Yeah,
She's
what
so hot.
what I absolutely do love about him is that he's got like this like hard exterior. Yeah, sorry, I'm bringing Susie back into it, kind of like her, but eventually the layers do peel back, and you realize, oh hey, he's not that much of an asshole as as the
It's
show's
mostly a
beginning
front.
him
It's
to
mostly
be.
a front.
I feel
Yeah.
like he's a male tsundere.
Yes.
All right.
One
right.
complaint. My wife chose to stay in jail. I hate that.
I'm blathering too much about ships. What's your
Go for it, please. This is the end of the podcast.
What about no, I guess we covered one of your top 3
Yeah, her top
movies.
3. Well, actually, according to the listing, her number 3 movie is Sinners, which everybody here has it on their list somewhere.
I was wondering if we should wait for that one. Get through like our
I
other.
think we should wait just because
Everybody
we'll have
has.
a
If
lot of
everybody
talk
has
to
it, we'll
about
just
Sinners.
push it once.
So let's
Yeah.
pretend her number 3 is K-pop Demon Hunters, which we talked.
Okay, sounds good.
So let's move on. Was that okay? Was that everybody?
Yeah, we're back to
Yep.
you.
Let's moving on to number 2, or whatever you choose to make your number 2. So my number 2 video game was a late comer, like one of Prince Luffy's top 3 movies, Metroid Prime 4.
Hell yeah.
7
Go
years.
off, babe. Go off.
7 years I have waited for this. You know, this game was announced when the Nintendo Switch came out.
Huh.
I do remember that. I do remember them saying another Metroid game was going to be coming out.
Like Metroid Prime 4 specifically, like the first E3 after the Nintendo Switch came out in 2017. I still remember that trailer where they were playing the Metroid Prime music and they were zooming out and it formed a 4. And
Yeah. You
Not to
After-
interrupt you,
You
but
lost
is
your
it just
shit,
me?
John. I watched. I was there when it came out, when the trailer dropped. You lost
That-
your shit.
that was
Is
the
it
trailer
just
for
me, or
Metroid
is
Prime
like
1 remastered.
Samus's waist
Oh,
like
well, whatever,
super
you still did.
snatched in this picture?
Samus's waist has always been like.
Oh, I know. It just looks super snatched right there. It looks good.
It's like a variation of her Various suit. No, actually, that is her Various suit from the Prime games because like she gets a different suit later on. So, this game took 7 years to make, and it started development twice. So after we heard nothing for years in 2017, Nintendo suddenly announced, "Oh, we were making the game, but we're starting development. We were originally doing it internally with the studio, but now we're handing it back to Retro Studios, the development team that made the first 3 Prime games." And then that took a while, and then we finally got a proper reveal 2 years ago. And then the name and like last year when we did last year's podcast is when we had just gotten the cover art, the logo, and the subtitle. And then leading up to this game's release, this game experienced controversy. Controversy that me personally, I think is fucking stupid. They revealed in some press releases that there were chatty NPCs. One of them that I remember someone described as, "Oh, he just speaks in cringy Marvel humor," and I wanted to slug somebody because I'm like, are we just all poisoned from Metroid Other M, where with a poorly written Metroid story that anytime there's a talking NPC in Metroid we lose our shit? I played Metroid Prime 4 blind on a stream about a couple weeks ago, and I personally adored it. I think Metroid Prime is back, personally. Now, it's not perfect. There is a portion towards the end of the game where you're in a desert with nothing to do and you have to collect a bunch of green crystals in order to progress. Beyond that, I thought the characters that you met were engaging. They were not intrusive, to my opinion. And I actually thought some of them were endearing, especially the one that's very, very gay for Samus. It's so obvious. Miles, the nerdy one, he says like 1 or 2 things that are cringy, and then you don't see him for a while, and he upgrades your weapons. Gameplay wise, this is the best that Metroid Prime has felt. I'm glad that I'm finally playing a Metroid not with a Wii remote controller, because I had to play 2 and 3 on the Wii. That was horrible. I almost developed carpal tunnel syndrome on my right hand. Music is stellar. Gameplay is stellar. If I had a gripe, other than the desert portion where you're collecting the green crystals to progress, Sylux is the stupidest aura farming motherfucker of a villain I've ever had to experience. Literally nothing about this guy other than he hates Samus because reasons. I'm gonna go try and find this tweet that somebody made that perfectly summarized Psylocke, the villain of this game's motivation, and it cracked me up. It was like it was retweeted by somebody who does not like the story, does not like this game, but I personally thought it was so funny. I'm trying to find it. Hold on, bear with me just a moment. This person I'm going to shout outs to Cherry Scampers on Blue Sky, who described the motivation of the villain like this. Psylocke confronts us with the question, what if a guy you don't know was an angry dickhead, but then he fucked up at work and became an angry dickhead, and at some later point became a wizard for no reason?
The fuck?
That is incomprehensible to me, but I believe you.
Psylocke is given no motivation at all for being the villain. Like you only see this one scene of like there's a field burning and Samus is trying to lift him up after a tragedy, and he slaps Samus's hand out of his face, and he basically goes AWOL on. He's the one who causes Samus and everybody to go to this new planet and dimension in the first place, and we are not told anything about him at all. It's why like Metroid Prime 1 is my favorite of the series. This is a solid number 2 purely because of the gameplay, and it also biased because it's been so long. But I can't get over how fucking lame of a villain Psylocke is. I hope that motherfucker never comes back. He's so fucking lame. But despite that, I had to put it as my number 2 because as much as I enjoyed Death Stranding 2, and by the way, Death Stranding 2, I dropped 141 hours into that as well. I just finished platinuming that right after Christmas. But Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I loved. I would like to see them iterate this again on a 5. Hopefully without Psylocke. Okay, moving on to my movies. My number 2 movie is probably one that is shared amongst many people on this list.
Oh yeah,
Superman. As in,
it's up high.
As in the very first film entry of the new DCU studio canon. It has taken probably longer than I've been alive for us to get a decent Superman film since the Donner films off the ground. There have been many attempts to try and make this.
And I think we talked about it. It's not that hard to make a good Superman film.
Yeah, you just have to not be a dipshit like Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's not a dipshit. He just doesn't understand Superman.
A very specific
his cult, on the other hand.
Yeah, they don't understand Superman at all. God.
And the fact that this was my number 1, not number 2. Not only was it a great film, it was a great Superman film. We finally have Superman as he's supposed to be. He is a kind, caring Boy Scout, not this superpowered god to be feared and misunderstood while he aura farms while people die around him in a burning courtroom because of a bucket of piss that exploded. I'm not exaggerating. That's what happens at Batman v Superman.
Oh dear Lord.
Yes. Yeah. I will make you remember the exploding bucket of piss.
Basically, he's not fucking Homelander. He's Superman.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be.
Yeah, he's not Diet Batman or Diet the Punisher.
Homelander is supposed to be evil Superman, so obviously the opposite of that, the actual Boy Scout, that's the real Superman.
Yeah, the moment I knew that this Superman was perfect was when they were fighting the giant kaiju in the film. He was about to step on a squirrel, and before he did anything else, he saved the squirrel. And I'm like, that is such a Superman thing to do. Everyone's like, well, I would have just hit up. I was like, you're not Superman.
Yeah.
That's why.
There is a nickname that Superman has in the DC universe, and it is the Big Blue Boy Scout. And that is what he is, because he was raised by, human farmers, the good sort of Southern Americans, teaching people to be kind and loving and gentle. And the thing is Superman knows that he is powerful, but he still decides to protect humanity. even when he sees the ugly side of it, he sees that constantly with Lex Luthor, and he still decides to protect humanity because at the end of the day, he knows it is the right thing to do. And also just like Lex in this, Nicholas Hoult, I know he's probably not going to get an Oscar nomination for this, but he was really, really good as Lex.
He was an amazing
he was
hater.
spectacular.
He was an amazing hater.
Mhm. And he's like, the thing about Lex is that Lex tries to maintain some sort of semblance of professionalism, but he can't keep it up, especially when it comes to Superman. And he comes off as, extremely pathetic, but that's like the purpose. And just like the supporting cast in this was great. Use of music, of course, was fantastic. I really, again, love that James Gunn uses lesser known characters. I am a big Metamorpho fan, so I was really happy to see him in this film.
And I'm now a Mr. Terrific fan.
I'm obsessed with the guy who played Metamorpho. He was so good and Barry. As soon as I realized it was him, I was like no.
And now I have
It's
a love-hate relationship with Guy Gardner. Like I simultaneously love but also hate that piece of shit.
And like, I know some people like they brag on James Gunn's humor, but the thing is I think he knows how to adapt his humor to characters, and I think it works in here because Superman's not going around cussing and everything, but the other characters that can do that, they do that.
Yeah, Superman goes out of his way not to do. I don't think I heard him cuss once.
He sounds like he still believes in Santa. Okay, of course he's not going to curse. He doesn't want to get on the naughty list.
Oh, they better do like a Christmas thing where he still believes in Santa. I need that.
That would be awesome. Yeah. So I'm also really excited for Supergirl too.
Yeah, that's coming out.
I have faith in this new DCU. So yeah.
Yeah. Now Lex is like
3 for 3.
Lex's characterization is really good, and like for me, it sealed the deal for me when he was ripping open the portal into Metropolis, and all of his sycophants were warning him. It's like, they're going to destroy the world. It's like, I have to get back at Superman. It doesn't matter that he's going to wreck the world. It's like, as long as I get back at Superman, everything, that's all that matters. Like, that matters to him more than anything, including his own ego.
Also, just a shout out to Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen, who is also in the Righteous Gemstones as Gideon. He is spectacular, and I love him a lot.
And he cucks Lex.
See, I really love that they kept like the running gag of Jimmy having just this unbelievable riz. Because that's sort of like, people make the joke that and call him Jimmy the Rizzler Olsen, because somehow this dude has like bagged a lot of baddies, and he's also even dated like an alien. And I'm not talking like an alien that looks like a human, like an alien.
He also dates Supergirl in several canons, so I wonder if they're going to bring that along now too.
Who knows? It's so refreshing to have a genuinely good Superman film, because we have not had one in literal years. I really do think the last really good one was the first like Christopher Reeve one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was those two. Just, I don't know. Again, he's not that hard of a character to write, so it's really nice that we've had a good one, because he has not been having good movie adaptations.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. So it's only fitting that we're talking about the DCU, because that leads directly into my number 2 television show. My number 2 show was Peacemaker, which follows directly up on the events of Superman, because, spoilers, we find out what happened to Lex Luthor. He's in prison, and he has to listen to 2 aliens fuck each other next door. He said so himself.
Serve him right.
Well, unfortunately, they transferred him. So this directly follows up on not only Peacemaker season 1, which they retconned the Justice League out. They changed it to the Justice Gang. And it follows directly up on Superman, because it shows more about Rick Flag and him wanting revenge on John Cena's character, Chris Smith. And also it deals with Peacemaker's morality. Like he firmly believes that he's like the literal angel of death for everybody around him. Like, he's killed his brother, he's killed his father, and he's worried that he's going to put his friends and loved ones that he still has with him he's gonna end up killing them too. So he discovers there's a interdimensional portal in his now dead racist father's closet, and finds one of the portals leads to an exact dimension like home, except his father and his brother are still alive and they're nice to him. And then he decides to ditch life there in the real world and stay in what ends up being Earth Dimension X, which is what if the Nazis won World War II and there are no people of color that aren't in prison or camp, and they have murals of Adolf Hitler on all the walls in the government, and they have a Mein Kampf book at every desk.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, this is straight up not Nazi dimension. But he doesn't know that, and there's a great joke about that when Amelia Harcourt gets there. It's like, you mean to tell me that you didn't notice all the Mein Kampfs on the desk? It's like, what the fuck you think I read? I wouldn't have known that. Oh yeah, what about the big Hitler mural over there? Oh shit, how did I not notice that? And also, the flags have the swastikas instead of the stars. But anyway, what really John Cena really proved himself as an actor in this show. Not that he did in that first season. This second season I thought was stellar. Really showed his acting chops, and I'm glad he will probably be going full-time acting now that he is retired from in-ring competition forever. He really brought his A game, as you guys saw in the performance awards.
Oh yeah.
Impressive.
I can't wait to watch the second season.
It really dealt with his, and it really taught me the dangers of putting up walls and pushing people away, when really the community of building up a community of friends that will stand by you even when you do wrong benefits you more than isolating yourself in a fantasy world, especially a fucking Nazi world, without you realizing it. Is that's way more preferable to doing that. Having friends that will stand by you and will chase you into another dimension to get you back. And definitely watch this season, because it is going to have major effects on Man of Tomorrow. Definitely watch that as soon as you can. You have time, thankfully. And those are my number twos, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So Austin, I think, went after me, so we'll just keep the cycle going.
Okay, my number two game of this year is Hades 2. Now, I absolutely loved the first game. I was just addicted to it until I finally got the true ending, and I'm still on this one. I'm gotta do a few more runs until I get the ending, but I absolutely love the mechanics of this one. Like, Melanoy actually plays a lot differently than her brother Zacharias. Like, she focuses on magic, and also on the new MP mechanic, I think, as well. But the story is that Kronos, the Titan of Time, wants to usurp the gods. He imprisoned Hades and made the rest of the family erased from existence. And so Melanoy, who managed to escape when she was a newborn, has been training all her life to stop Kronos, save her father, and restore the gods to their rightful place as rulers of the world. But not only are you making your descent down into the underworld to save your family, but also up to Mount Olympus to save them for the father of all monsters. Yes. And like the stuff they do with Greek mythology is a lot of fun. Like when you meet Narcissus for the first time, he starts talking to his own reflection, and he's like, "Oh, ignore her. She means nothing to me. You're the only one for me, love." Yeah, and that's because they made a lot of thirst traps in this game. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
They
like
know they know gamers are horny.
like you always had several the nominations in the MILF and 7 cunt categories. But yeah, also the changes they made to some of the buffs and mechanics, as well as the the challenge modifiers. And also her weapons a lot differently than Zacchaeus' arsenal in the first game. And I absolutely love Supergiant ever since the first game, Bastion, and I am still enthralled by the work again.
I still need to play the first one or finish the first one.
Yeah,
I
I've
want
never
to
touched the first one.
I want to get to this one next.
And just a heads up, you gotta beat the game 10 times to get the ending.
I know.
Oh, Jesus.
And
That's
it's
amazing.
not easy, I'm warning you.
I know. I tried.
Very hard and but also fair. Like every time you die, it's your own fault. So
And it ties to the story. So you're like, oh, and like I remember in the first game when you die, Hades is like, oh, come crawling back, huh? How
Mhm.
far did you get this time?
Yeah, that's a fun. Like it actually, the roguelike actually ties into the story. Okay, and let's see, movies. I already talked about Superman with you guys, so I can just skip that one. And
Yep.
number 2 show, and you guys are gonna hate me for this.
No, I'm not, because this is the
Absolutely.
last time I have to hear about it this year.
Thank God.
Okay, so this is a big improvement over the first season. Like, apparently, when they were planning the first season of Hazbin Hotel, they wrote a bunch of story for at least 22 episodes, which is standard for TV shows. But Amazon only ordered 8 episodes, which had forced them to basically constrain a lot of their ideas, focus on what episodes they truly want to do for the sake of the story. But for season 2, they started to learn on how to write stories for the episode format. And then it shows the patience better, and the character interaction and deaths, like also the songs, they will never leave your mind. Like they are permanent earworms, in my opinion. And like also Fox is I hate to say it, but he's a more fun villain than Adam was in the first season. Especially since in the first season, Fox was sort of seen as a joke, but here he's a genuine threat and a perfect antithesis to Charlie. Like he wants Ennis to go to heaven, but not through redemption, but for so he can be seen as a god. This is why he's stirring up a lot of civil unrest in hell.
This sure was the year for antagonistic living television villains.
Apparently.
I'm done.
Oh, I am gonna say this. While I haven't watched the second season of Hazbin Hotel, after listening to Gravity, it does feel like they have improved.
Mm-hmm.
And like from what I've also seen is a lot of people do prefer this season over the first one. It feels like they just sort of maybe learned how to also like kind of trim the fat, so to speak, and like balance things better. So I mean, I'll give credit where it's due.
I've heard both ends, honestly. I've heard some people like this one better. I've heard some people don't like this one less.
Oh, really?
I think that one of the more measured reviews that I've read, and I'm going to drop her name again, is Bobby Schroeder, aka Pawnette. She had a very thoughtful and considerate review, but I don't know that I'll say, I haven't seen it myself either, so I can't say anything to the pacing, but I actually liked the songs in the first season as well. I've always thought that the music was good, but like that doesn't necessarily say anything for the plot. Or the show itself, you know. I also like the music from A Hell of a Boss, and I won't watch the show.
Okay, so I think it's my turn now.
Yeah. That's Austin's number 2s.
Okay, so I'm going back to books. You guys are gonna notice a recurring theme with the books I am nominating. So imagine if The Shape of Water was gay.
I love it.
Ooh.
And that is what Providence Girls is. It is a horror romance novel by Morgan Dante. And so I am just going to give a warning. There are some very serious subject matters in this. One of the characters experiences something very terrible happening to her. I don't want to give too much away, but this is basically an eldritch horror inspired novel. It is through letters. It is written through letters, and it
Oh,
is
I
about
love that.
yeah, it's by these two women called Vin and Azzy, and Vin is like super independent. She's smart. She has a car. She doesn't have a husband, and she does what she likes. But but and people are kind of like, oh, okay, that's weird. But she is owned by the deep ones, and eventually she will have to go to the sea. And then we have Vin, who is the opposite of her, and she also apparently got pregnant by an eldritch horror,
Ooh.
and the two of them meet, and like they change each other's lives. But Vin is like slowly turning into a fish person, and there's all these struggles they have to deal with, and it's very sweet, it's very sad, but the characters feel very felt real to me. I really liked seeing that these two really like broken and frustrated women finding each other. And again, like I said, there's going to be like some serious subject matter, but also there's a lot of just sexism in this because of the time it takes place. But seeing them sort of triumph in the end is very heartwarming, and I'm a sucker for that gay shit.
Yeah.
Because I
They're
saw the
shaking
cover
hands.
and I was
I
like,
was about-
well, okay.
I was about to say the cover art's gorgeous.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the cover, I was like, oh crap, well now I have to read this, because you know me, I love me some supernatural romance and I love me some gay shit. And that seems to sort of be her thing. She's really good. Morgan Dante apparently is really good with like the sort of like gossip, like all of her stuff is like really is horror based, and she has some other stories that also are sapphic in nature. So I'm interested to check out more stuff by her. For games, we already talked about Deltarune, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
death.
right. So yeah, so I will wait to talk about South of Midnight then.
Yeah, isn't that your numero uno? That's your number one?
Yes.
Okay, so that leaves Christine gets or Prince Luffy was next after Christine, I think,
Yeah.
right?
I went next and Christine went last.
Okay, no, we'll keep the order going. So whatever you
Let's talk about
choose,
Knives Out. The new Knives Out. Wake Up Dead Man.
another latecomer.
I
Don't give spoilers.
love
No, we
this
won't.
series with
We won't.
every fiber of my being.
Same. Don't give spoilers.
I will not.
I have yet to watch it because
Yeah,
I also love the Knives Out movie.
Guys, it's a cardinal sin to spoil a whodunit. We won't do that.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
going to spoil it. I promise you this. I've loved the Knives Out series from the first one. When they announced that this one was dropping initially, like in select theaters in November, I looked everywhere, but the nearest one to me was hours away, so I could not see it in theaters. So when it finally premiered on Netflix, I was so excited. I think that Benoit Blanc, or at least I hope, he's going to become like, I hope he becomes like the Sherlock or the like Hercule Poirot of our generation.
The Columbo of our
that.
generation.
He is so Columbo because like he's queer Columbo, and that's so perfect for me. Like, as I love whodunits, I love mysteries, I love things like this, and I like that every Knives Out film so far has given us a lead character that because the part of what makes these kind of successful is that Blanc isn't really the lead. He's the character that shows up in every film, but he's not who the story's about. And like, we had Marta in the first film and Andy in the second. And I really think that Josh O'Connor, who plays the young priest in this, does a spectacular job. He's really a nuanced character, and like you can feel his like I was raised Catholic and I left for a reason, but I still felt extremely like empathetic and like to his character.
And Glenn Close is in this, and like Kerry Washington. And the cast is
I
once
love Glenn
again
Close.
quite star-studded, and every single one of them.
These movies always have the best casts. It's
They
just
really do.
like, yeah, it's just the casting is always phenomenal in these movies. Every single time, it's always so freaking good. I cannot wait to
And
watch
like,
it.
it's not one of those films that feels like they just tried. Like this series never feels to me like they just tried to get big names. It often has big names, but they managed to like mesh the talent together in a way that is like it just really works. It doesn't feel to me like they're just trying to put names on the poster, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're like they're casting people because they know they want these people to play these characters and know that they'll do the best job. And they're right. I
Yeah.
really can't wait to watch this one.
All right. So I guess I'll do top manga next. Let's do I Think Our Son Is Gay.
What a title.
Yeah. When I heard about this manga, like when I came across it while just, fucking around, because I read, oh God, I read like 2,000 titles this year. That's not chapters, that's titles. The chapters is kind of embarrassing. I thought that the title was interesting. It turns out it's written by a gay man. The plot is that the main character is Tomoko, who is a mother. She's a housewife, and her husband does a lot of work, travel, a lot of work overseas, and so it's mostly just her and her two sons. Hiroki is the older one, Yuri is the younger, and she comes across a magazine, a smutty magazine, in her son's room, and it's a men's magazine. It's and she starts thinking that her son might be gay. She notices like all of these little like slips and signs, and I think that this is adorable. It is one of the most wholesome manga I think I've ever read. She is such an earnest person. She wants so badly to somehow portray to her closeted son that she's like accepts him, and like she wants to learn about the community in a really genuine way. And I think that she realizes like he has a crush on his friend, and minor spoiler, but him and the friend don't get together, but he still stays friends with him. And she's like, it's like just a very genuine story about a mom who truly loves her kids. Her younger son starts to realize he might be asexual, and the representation is just, it like kind of runs the gamut. And I was touched. I liked it. I think it's cute. It's funny. And I liked seeing the perspective of a gay male author on this. And I definitely recommend it. It just finished this year. It's 5 volumes long.
Okay. It sounds adorable.
It's so cute. All right, shows. Let's go from adorable to really, really fucked up. The Amazing Digital Circus.
Uh-oh. I might want to see this, so scale back a bit.
All right. So
Just give the basics.
yeah. I know that we mentioned Glitch Productions earlier in like the Knights of Guinevere and stuff. This is one of their main like titles. Amazing Digital Circus, which I think the first like 4 or 5 episodes are on Netflix, but all 7 so far are on YouTube for free.
Okay.
Yes.
Is created by trans femme artist and animator Gooseworks.
Nice.
The plot starts with the little jester in the middle, Pomni, waking up, like being popped into existence in a digital world. And she knows that she's human, but she can't remember her name. And so the dude with the teeth, Kane, the chattery teeth with big eyes, who runs the circus and is like, he's actually an AI. He was never human. Gives her a new name by random. And she starts like learning the way of the circus. And his whole thing, like the whole thing is that because the circus can be monotonous, they're given adventures to go on. Like, but they follow like different digital game kind of formats. Like,
but the thing is, they don't want to go on these adventures. They hate them.
Sometimes they do because they appreciate the distraction. Other times they're like, this fucking sucks. Except they're not allowed to swear. And every time that they do, they have a little censor bar pop up over their mouths. It quickly, it's one of those shows that appeals to me because I really like a brightly colored existential crisis. I love when something that looks like it should be happy and fun and cutesy is a veneer for something that is horrific, if you really think about it. Because
for example, bug snacks.
Yes. Because all of these people are trapped. We don't know who they really were. We don't know why they're trapped. And I will say, so far it's only 7 episodes, but it is a show that has improved with every episode. It continues to top itself in terms of plot and acting and development. And I am extremely impressed. I was already shipping Jackson Pomney by the end of episode 1, and now I have 300 pictures saved in my phone because as soon as I get an OTP, I'm on that shit.
I'm not excited.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I liked it. I recommend it. It's really good, and it's a thinker. It's one that definitely is going to make you really sit back and go, well, damn.
Yeah, Bug Snacks did that to me, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I would also like to add that I think so. I'm also like a sucker for there's something horrific, even though there's like bright colors and everything. And I feel like sometimes it's something that can have a lot of bloat. Like there's people who want to try to do that story but fail to understand how to do it. The Amazing Digital Circus understands how to blend horror and all these really colorful elements very well. All the characters feel very fleshed out. And I think she said I can't remember how many episodes she wants to do, but like I also like that Gooseworks just says we're only going to have a certain amount of episodes and then that's that. And this has been incredibly successful. She could have been like, oh, we're going to keep on. Nope, there's only going to be 1 season and that's it.
And I think the Falling Friends creators said the same thing. They said, I think after they at least in recent interviews, they said, we want to see how we feel by the 4th season. I think we're going to dip out after that or 5. So
very appreciative of showrunners who want to tell a story and know when to stop. I think one of the best examples of that is The Good Place. They had a story, they told it in 4 seasons, and it was beautiful.
Like another great one, Gravity Falls only did it in 2.
Exactly.
Like the worst example, The Simpsons, which the Simpsons will never fucking end.
Yeah, but it's gonna suck that that it's ending, but it's it's still like it's so it's so good that I think I'm okay with it only like being 1 season. But yeah, like even though I didn't put it on my list, I am looking. I do love this show. It's been incredibly great. The animation is amazing. The characters are so fun and interesting. And it's just like the last episode just really left everything, I guess, sort of on like there's a lot of emotions that you've felt after that last episode. So I'm looking forward to and
it does once again appeal. I really like complex, broken characters who have a lot of good traits, but also a lot of like trauma and things that just they're fucked up behavior that they probably shouldn't be doing. I mean, not only does that just, drive plot a lot of the time, I just find the complexity and of humanity so interesting to dissect. It's fun. And that's why Jax is especially a fun little thing to dissect, because there's so many things wrong with him.
Which one is that? Which one is that in the picture?
The
The annoying
Bunny.
rabbit.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was voiced by Michael Kovac. Actually, was the only thing I liked from the Has Been Hotel pilot, like the original one.
Okay,
I
so
like
I
his-
will
his-
say why I can't stand Jax. I do like Michael's performance. He does a really good job.
I like a couple that's all fucked up with each other. And I also really like Gangle and Ragatha and Zubul.
Oh, yeah.
Zubul is very relatable to me for many reasons.
Someone actually said I'm a lot like Ragatha, and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet.
That's definitely a compliment.
I love Ragatha.
I'm definitely gonna have to
All
watch
right.
this now, especially since it's only a couple episodes and it looks like a
I
short.
probably should too, because I keep seeing Deltarune crossovers. I'm like, no, you keep fan art. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
is
saw
this?
the
I need to see
clip.
this.
Maybe
But-
we could put it on our
Trust me.
watch list. They're only
Yeah.
half hour
We
episodes.
should. That would be
so-
fun.
Can
should
we?
do that. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we should do that.
Well,
All
Austin's about to go on vacation for an entire month, so
Yeah.
but by the time we get around to it, we'll
All right, Christine, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Take it away.
pick from the hat.
Um,
Which one do you want for your number twos?
Or
Well, we
whatever.
really
Let's see.
covered most of the movies that you have on your list, but
Yeah. All right.
what's Skate the Infinity? Tell me about
Oh
this.
yeah,
Oh,
I
don't-
think
Oh no, what have you done? You're gonna
Uh, we mentioned this.
What?
I mentioned this at last year.
It's on her list. I just wanted to.
It was. Yeah, remember it's this.
yeah,
well,
this was
there's
on her
the-
most anticipated, and now it's out.
Yeah. So
Nice.
you remember the one I was talking about with the skateboarding show
Uh-huh.
and main character comes from Canada and best friends with yeah that one. It's basically part of how many parts are there? There's four little mini things in it, and one is like a prequel. But they're all like 5 minutes long.
Okay, so
One
it's kind of like the Yu Yu Hakusho OVAs they did, where like they're not necessarily a continuation, but they're adapting parts
They're
of the
not.
story.
They're not
in different...
adapting. They're not adapting anything. They're just doing whatever. They're just doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, that's what the Yu Yu
Well-
Hakusho and OVAs did. Like they had
yeah.
some of them were adaptations of a chapter they never covered. Some of them were just an original thing.
Yeah. So basically, their first one is centered around Reki and Longa and Mia, my precious
Are
little
those
baby
the
bees.
two? Are those the three up in the upper left?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Reki, Longa, and Mia are the. Reki's the redhead. Mia's the little precious bean, and then Longa's the one in the right.
Okay.
Let's see. So there's really no I really haven't found a synopsis for this online because it's so short.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a visual version of like an omake, like one of those little
Yeah,
like,
there you
extra
go.
like 4 coma like
that's it,
comics
yeah.
that you
Yeah, I was
see.
about to say 4 coma.
Yeah. It's it's really cute though.
No, I believe it sounds cute. The art's pretty.
Yeah. And the one the one on the bottom left is basically like a it's like something that happens in the past of the show. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I mentioned Joe and Cherry, but that's Joe and Cherry in the bottom left.
I'm assuming
that's-
Cherry is the one with the pink hair.
Yes. That's their skate names anyway. Joe's name is, I don't know if I mentioned it the last time. Joe's name is Kojiro, not well, whatever. His name, well, we're just calling him Joe. That's the two of them in high school before S was created. And they're exactly how they are in the main show. They bicker like an old married couple, I swear.
Like Zoro and Sanji.
Yes.
I love
actually.
it.
Yes, exactly like that. It's beautiful. So like,
I already
they-
ship it, and I don't even watch this.
Oh please, you are. You have no idea. Okay, and Reki and Longa are also a ship, by the way. So
Like,
there you
yeah,
go.
they're the big ship of the show.
No, well, yes, they're one of the two.
That's the
And
one I keep saying.
yeah, and then it's cute. Like
It
they're
does look.
so
It does look
short.
fun.
Like the first one, you know what? Here, let me go find a cute frame from the show from the thing. Hold on.
I think this is cute plenty.
All right, game wise, why
Yeah.
don't you talk about Pokemon?
Huh? Oh yeah.
You mean
John,
the
you
game
wanna
she
help?
hasn't been able to, the game she hasn't been able to put down like for like months?
No, I'm still playing the game. I'm on the DLC. So
I'm
no.
not. Yeah, I haven't touched the DLC yet because I'm too fucking poor to afford it.
Hmm.
But I did beat
Okay.
the main game fairly recently, and this ended up being my number 7 game. Only because there's so much. Not that this game was bad, but like there was so much good shit this year. I couldn't rank it higher than where it.
Hmm.
We did talk about Pokemon Legends ZA a little bit. We have the inaugural cunt winner is from this game.
Yep.
And I think everybody here, even though we haven't played it, we ship Jasant and Laban hard.
Yep. Agreed.
So I can help with this. Legends EA is a Pokemon. The Pokemon company is doing this thing where in between mainline games, they're doing like a Legend series where it's like these side story games that take place in different regions of the Pokemon universe that already exist, and they get really experimental with their stories and their gameplay. And this is one where they get really crazy with the gameplay. Like it's like a real time battle system as opposed to turn based, like which Pokemon's known for. And this one centers around. It's like 6 years after the events of Pokemon X and Y, where you're just a tourist coming to Lumio City, which is Pokemon's equivalent to Paris, and you're recruited by Team MZ, which is a group of Pokemon trainers that are employed at a hotel run by a 1,000-year-old man. That's right, you heard me.
My
A
God.
1,000-year-old man who and his immortal Floette, who has the power of a god.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically just going around solving missions, and the big thing is there's the thing called the ZA Royale, which is like a ranking system in the city that's where you're basically climbing a ladder in a tournament, and you have to beat the ranking trainer at a certain point and then fight them. And there's also a deeper story going on as well. I thought this. I did not care too much for Pokemon X and Y when I first played it, but I did really appreciate this game. I thought it was very fun. The characters and music are phenomenal as always.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pokemon mostly it knocks out of the park with music, the least not minus Sword and Shield. But I thought the music with this was great. Characterizations were great. I'm still seeing people post fan art of the characters from this, and the Mega Evolutions are really creative. Except for creepy ass Mega Victory Bell.
And say, I know that Christine doesn't like the Victory Bell. I don't.
No,
like the
actually, I just
I
think,
think it's Rudy that doesn't like him.
Actually, I think he just looks like a goofy little sack of shit. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, he's a sack of something.
This is
I
why
love him.
I call him sack of shit.
Yeah, he is. It's adorable. I love him.
I think the only Mega design I don't like is the new Mega Lucario one. I think that one looks fucking awful.
That looks awesome. What are you fucking talking about?
He looks terrible.
Supposed
the-
to be
the-
he's supposed to be like an Egyptian something or other. I forgot what
It's
that
supposed to be
actually
good looking, and it's not.
was. Okay.
Ouch.
Supposed to be tapping more into the Egyptian style of the way he's.
Yeah, I know Lucario is supposed to look like an Anubis, but I think the colors that they chose for him and like the design in general is just bad. But there are some great ones. I think my favorite is
Fucking Starmie. Can
Mega
we talk
Starmie.
about
It's hysterical.
Starmie?
Oh, the
Like-
Ultraman Starmie.
Yes.
He is.
What?
What a Starmie, but long.
Is that him, John? The Mega Lucario?
That's the Mega Lucario we've had since X and Y. That's the regular Mega Lucario. There's a new one.
Give me a
Mega
second.
Lucario.
Let me
Yeah, I
show
don't-
you. Let me show you this
I
Starmie
think
in action. Hold on.
Regular Mega Lucario was fine. I actually think that's cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. That's weird looking, especially compared to the regular one.
Wait,
But
where'd you
anyway.
guys put-
But anyway,
Oh, let's see.
Legends EA is probably one of the best
Oh.
Pokemon games since well, Scarlet and Violet had problems, but they did fix some of those. This is the first Pokemon game that in a long time that was good and was good upon launch. I don't like that you have to pay $100 to get the full experience. Don't like that. Don't like that DLC was $30. But if you're a Pokemon fan in any respects, I say give it a try, especially if you're like kind of burnt down on Pokemon. It's a brand new flavor of a game. It's also not as long as a regular Pokemon game. It's quite short by comparison. You can. I would even recommend maybe even playing it on the channel, especially with Prince Luffy, because it has no voice acting, and it should.
Yay! I must say that I bit of a travesty
yes,
for
it
it
worked,
to
thank
be
God.
short and charge way more.
Okay.
Okay, so does that do it for Christine's numero doses?
I think so.
That means we're going back to our number ones. Right? All right. Number one, before we move on to our final, which is going to be much easier than this is. My number one game of the year. Okay. It's with a heavy heart. I got to like this. I was proud to talk about this one. I kind of still am, but I do have to put a big ass asterisk on this one. If you've been paying attention to this podcast at all, and also my posts on social media, y'all already know what my number one game of the year is.
Oh, absolutely.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I was surprised very much by this game. I did not think a JRPG made by the French and a brand new indie team would be my number one game of the year, but damn it, did they knock it out of the park. This not only is a love letter to the JRPG genre, I think it's better than most Final Fantasies. I am dead serious when I say that. It borrows a lot of not just from Final Fantasy. Like the UI design has been compared to Persona, and I definitely see it. There are also elements of different RPGs, like it has timed parries and timed hits, like Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger. It borrows things from JRPGs without trying to be like, see, remember this game, remember. It has its own identity too. It takes little things that you know from things without like rubbing it in your face that this is nostalgia bait. It's just iterating what it loves. And also it blends that with French culture because this was done by a French team. The artistry is masterful. The music is moving. The story is very, very emotional. I was originally going to say I can't recommend this game enough. However, I do have to address the elephant in the room. A couple of weeks ago, as of this recording, this game was disqualified from the Indie Game Awards because they have a strict no generative AI rule. And while this game did not use generative AI in the final products, and even before the game was even done, there were generative AI assets that were in the Unreal store that they used. And they did have this reward strip because I will give the IGA's credit. They did have that rule. Sandfall said there was no, and they found out. That's fair. That being said, there was clarification from the dev team where they later said we did use it when it was first coming out and when the game had long since started development. But they tried it and they hated it, and it just got caught up in the build that they had. They shipped and they patched it out within 5 days. I personally think they should have been a bit more forthcoming with it, but they did clarify that when they did use it, they despised it and they never wanted to use it again. And
should have been in the patch notes. I would think, you know.
Yeah, that's why everybody says, including I think even the Ratchet and Clank developers even said, when you're doing placeholder textures, make them bright and pink or something. But there was also another podcast listener where they made a good point. Because it was there's a Ratchet and Clank podcast where they're talking about the development of one of the games. One of the executives got really mad at them because they thought they made no progress on a texture because it was like bright and pink or some really disgusting color. But they couldn't make the CEO that was in charge of the shareholder understand that no, this is in progress. This part's not done. We haven't put that in yet. It doesn't mean that that's what the final build is going to look like. So if you were looking at that from that angle, that they had to make an investor think that part was done and not just lie to them to get them to go away or something. If you want to look at it that way, fine. If you don't, I don't begrudge anybody who doesn't want to play this game after what happened. I do appreciate that they did take the high road. They took accountability for what they did, and they have urged us to. They will never use it again. I will hold them to it, because if they do it again, I will never buy a game from them again. That being said, go ahead, Rudy.
I am happy that they admit to what they did instead of trying to like make excuses, because I think that sort of just shows that they have integrity, which is sometimes hard to come by.
Yeah. And it's incredible. Despite everything, it was incredible they were able to make a game that looks and plays and sounds this good with less than a $10 million budget. And now, because of this game's success, they now have more money than most developers. So if anyone tries to push Gen AI on them, they can go, oh yeah, well, we won all these awards without it, so fuck off.
Yeah.
So I still, if you have it, if you're able to forgive their missteps, because they did apologize and they don't own up to it, strongly recommend playing this game if you can. I know I got it for Rudy for Christmas before what happened came out.
I'm still looking forward to playing it.
I will happily join you too, because I can't unlove what this game did. This game made me cry more than my entirety of reading One Piece. Let that sink in.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
Even picking the scene for the performance reel we did earlier, the waterworks started. Like that scene with Mayel at the grave broke me.
Yeah, it was emotional.
I couldn't tell if you were my brother or my father, but to me, you were both. Line destroyed me. Among other things that happened in this game. So I recommend that if you are able to forget, like I am not somebody who stands for Gen I shit. I am the loudest anti-AI person I can think of. And people have told me I'm a little annoying about it on Blue Sky, but you know what? I'd rather annoy you about it till it goes away. Once it goes away, you'll never hear me talk about it again. So, yeah, once it goes away, I'll shut up. Along with other things wrong with the world. We won't get into that, though. My number one movie, I think almost everybody has this as their number one, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sinners.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
I thought going into this year that K-pop Demon Hunters or Superman would be my number one. But there was a movie that had come out before both of them that had crossed me by, only because I am not a guy who really delves into horror movies. I refuse to see horror in theater because I've got trauma from being surprised, and I don't want to cause a scene and get kicked out of a movie theater from yelling too loud. I had that subconscious. It's never going to happen again. So I will only watch horror at home, where I'm in the comfort of my own living space, or if I want to scream, I can. I think I would have been fine seeing this in theaters, though, because, Lord, speaking of when I was talking about One Piece, one thing I love about One Piece is what I also love about this film: a slow burn with an amazing payoff.
Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful story with great characters, great acting, wonderful script.
Yeah.
Moving music.
Oh yeah, the music.
I saw this in theaters. I was lucky enough to be able to do that.
Lucky.
I expected I expected it to be decent, but I thought I was just kind of going to see a normal movie. I did not expect the depth and the character development and stuff that like we got. I did not expect the emotional depth that it delivered, and I was tickled. It was great. That I was impressed.
I even like had people who said like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see it again." Like, this is Ryan Coogler's like, is this his first original film? I think it is.
His first, I think, was Black Panther 2.
He didn't write it, from my understanding, but he definitely directed it. I just like, I kind of got the impression from the
the
I did
previews-
write it.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler did write it.
I don't know if any of you like saw the trailers beforehand, but
No.
it kind of played it like it was just going to be a normal vampire movie, you know?
Yeah,
like
trailers.
a vampire killer movie. And that's fine. You know, I think stuff like that's fun. And so like I said, I was really like the slow burn I did not expect. And I didn't expect it. Like I didn't expect it to spend so much time on the buildup
Mhm.
and the development of the characters before that payoff. And I loved that. I was so excited that it wasn't just a movie where like they set up the juke joint and then the vampires are there like immediately, you know?
Yeah,
and then
there's no way to advertise that, I guess.
Because I guess I expected it to be more like, what's that old movie with George Clooney? Where I think it's a Tarantino. Yeah, From Dusk to Dawn. The whole plot is like he and a couple other people go into like a bar like at the beginning, and then as soon as the sun goes down, it immediately becomes clear it's a vampire bar.
Oh, I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah, and they spend like the whole rest of the film in various action sequences fighting vampires. I kind of expected something like that. I didn't expect the soulful music that Sinners delivered. I didn't expect to cry as many times as I did.
This is
But-
another movie where also the cast is just phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, what like that scene when when Smoke dies, where he sees
Yeah.
Annie and
Oh
as he's,
yeah.
like bleeding out and she's got their baby and says like that he can hold her. So I was bawling.
What's also
Such a sweet scene.
noteworthy is this is a horror movie that Christine watched and loved.
Yeah, that is notable.
I think it's just there's so much heart and passion in this, and also just I think another thing is that and so like I think it's interesting because like both K-pop Demon Hunters and this movie, its central theme is like music and also how it connects us, to our ancestors because the hunters have always used music, and then we have this where it's like the preacher boy, aka Sammy, his music can like transcend generations and everything. And again, it was done so well. It doesn't feel cheesy or forced, That's like sometimes an issue with movies that are trying to be both entertaining and have a message. It does it very well here.
Yeah, I think that's something that like embracing of culture, something that Coogler really excels at.
Oh yeah.
If the first Black Panther his film is quite obvious evidence of that. And I really just think it was a strong story and they stuck the landing. It was a great execution.
Oh, definitely.
Also, Michael B. Jordan's hot.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It was also nice to have some like sex scenes that just felt more
Natural.
emotion. Yeah, like
Yes.
I know this is going to be such a weird thing, but it's like I prefer if they're gonna like do sex scenes, it's like let there be some actual passion, some intimacy. Like I felt the connection between the characters,
Yeah, I was gonna say this
Again,
this
yes.
movie was definitely Michael B. Jordan's opportunity to talk about how much he loves eating pussy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can tell that he really does by the way he talks about it.
And I'm also just gonna say
go ahead.
this. I do think also like the villain is really an enjoyable villain too. And like there are times where it's like you wonder it's like if he had never gotten turned into a vampire, what would have happened to him? Because like part of him is making like some sense, but at the same time, he's also doing this to try to get what he wants.
Yes. I think that it was an interesting microcosm of like not only, you know, like black and white racial relations, but specifically between the Irish and black people, because, you know, like for many moons the Irish were treated like as a second class, as non-white, but not in the same way. And trying to conflate those two things is, you know, it's never going to fully work, because it wasn't quite the same. It wasn't chattel slavery, which is its own unique evil. So I think that choosing to make him Irish was a very interesting commentary.
All right, I think we said all we can about Sinners. Anybody else have anything they want to add? No.
It's probably I think also just I've talked about this a lot. It's given me faith that moviegoers do want original stories. You know.
Yeah.
All right, so that leaves my number one show, and I think I share this with Austin. I don't think this would ever be on a top one of mine in any respect ever, but after a certain little marathon I did at work a couple years ago, it finally happens. And also because it's one of the rare reboot continuations that actually works. My number one show of the year was King of the Hill, season 14. Again, it's very rare for a continuation of a show that started in the 90s that comes back well after it's over or got canceled. Works. But I trusted the plan with Mike Judge, because the several times he rebooted Beavis and Butthead were pretty good. Not that you needed to do much with Beavis and Butthead, but I thought King of the Hill specifically was a much bigger ask. However, I still had faith, and my faith was well rewarded. I feel like King of the Hill has never gone anywhere. I feel like, and it's probably just because I watched the first 13 seasons of the show quite recently. It feels like the show never went anywhere. It feels like this was the plan all along. That this show naturally continued here. The humor is still sharp. Sadly, we lost several members of the recurring cast before this ever happened, even leading up to the show premiering. Like we said earlier, Johnny Hardwick passed away from an alleged OD, and Jonathan Joss was murdered. But further back, after King of the Hill ended, Brittany Murphy, who played Luann, I think OD'd. And
she had a heart condition.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She had a heart condition, and
her husband then within like a couple months.
And I don't remember how Tom Petty, who played her husband Lucky, passed away. But they were effectively written out of the show because they're not in the season at all. But the King of the Hill season is a time skip. Bobby is now an adult. Hank and Peggy are retired, and they explained their absence by they got a job in like an oil town in Saudi Arabia, which is apparently a real thing. Like they have like Americanized communities in Saudi Arabia. Real thing.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
And they come back like after the COVID, where Dale was mayor for a couple of days and then was quickly impeached. Boomhauer, I don't know what he was up to. He was a Texas Ranger. He kept busy. And Bill, Bill.
I thought he was an air marshal. I thought that was the big reveal.
He's a Texas Ranger. That was the reveal.
Oh, okay.
So they continue the theme of, everyone's like, I worried they're going to make King of the Hill woke now. I'm like, did you motherfuckers not watch the original show? The whole premise of the show is everything new and modern scaring Hank and not knowing how to deal with it, especially when it comes to his son. And it made for a fresh dynamic now that Bobby is older. He has a job. He's been in relationships. He has his own place with Joseph. So there's still more ground to cover about Hank not understanding Bobby and the world around him. But they have some very interesting commentary. Not every episode hits, but most of the ones that do hit really good. I think my favorite episode personally, it's either a toss-up between Bill lying about Peggy, which we talked about in the earlier category, or the one I really thought was super strong, when Good Hank, Hank's half-brother, gets caught up in a toxic masculinity pyramid
The
scheme.
Manosphere. That was a good one.
That was a fantastic episode. Like I thought that was the best one. So I'm happy that this got greenlit for about 2 or 3 more seasons. I'm sorry that we're going to be doing without Johnny Hardwork or Jonathan Joss, but I trust the plan. Like I did before, I will do it again. I am very happy that I turned a new leaf on the show. It's when I grew up hating it. I grew up hating it because I didn't understand it. Now that I do understand it, it's peak fiction, and I continue to look forward to more of it. Does anybody else have anything they want to add?
I was a little worried. I was one of the people who was a bit worried when it came back, specifically because some of the stuff that like Hank's conservatism could be kind of irritating, but not like, liking Reagan. I guess you could liking Bush. It wasn't great, but you could shrug it off.
That's the one consistency I don't like. Sorry to interrupt, but because there was a whole episode dedicated to how he doesn't like George Bush because they had a limp handshake. Now all of a sudden he's talking about singing his praises at that conservative Texas museum. Like what?
Yeah, I was a little worried because of the state, like the current state of Republicans and the Republican Party and stuff like that he would just come off awful. That if they kept his politics consistent, where a lot of people have gone, but I felt like they still kept Hank where he was, and I like that he hasn't like become like QAnon.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I like the Saudi Arabia thing. I'm like, he was literally not here to see the rise of Trump.
It was kind of like when they froze the minions in ice during the years that Hitler was in power, because they established the canon that they always follow the evilest person or whatever, and they just didn't want to deal with that.
That actually was very smart on their part.
I thought that was clever.
Put him in ice right now.
What about you, Austin?
Sorry, it's just the craft beer episode really cracked me up. Especially since me and my sister and brother-in-law, we love a good craft beer.
I didn't care too much for that episode, but there was one line in it that did crack me up. You know which one it is.
All right, is it when they're chasing the beer and
they're chasing the beer, and Bill says it tastes like a gun because he's the only one who's ever put a gun in his mouth, and Bill said it tasted exactly like I thought it would.
I am looking forward to watching this just because you guys have sung its praises so much, and I do love King of the Hill, so I'm glad that they've done justice to the series.
Yep. The other benefit too is this animation takes a while, so there was no room for them to write in current politics anyway. Just anything within the past couple of years they could do. Nothing from a year or so. That may change now, but we'll see.
All right. Who's next?
I believe I'm next, and since my other categories I share with other people, I can just do my number one game. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah.
Banana.
Yeah, so I grew up on a lot of these 3D platformers back in the 90s, and so it was really exciting that Donkey Kong got a first big 3D platform akin to Mario Odyssey. And especially since the mechanic of just destroying the terrain to make your way deeper to the planet's core, I thought that made a more interesting mechanic than DK64, where you swap between different characters repeatedly.
Yeah, just focus on the big man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and not have stupid, annoying collectibles that you can only get with other characters.
And I was also not expecting such a amazing dynamic between DK and Pauline. And their core friendship was very emotional, in my opinion. Especially with Pauline's character development.
As soon as I saw her on that cover, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, this is a love letter not only to the Donkey Kong Country games and DK's history, but also to his original arcade days. It's just putting a lot of mods and tributes to the character's history in general. And not to mention, They brought back King K. Rool in a mainline Donkey Kong game.
About
He returned.
fucking time. About fucking time. I was so sick of like, oh, the Tikis and like the what? No, Donkey Kong has an established villain. Bring the Kremlings back, and my God, the way they did it was so fucking funny.
Yeah, it was
That's not the band. That's not the Bandian Root. That's just King K. Rool's belly button.
And how he just one punches his replacement villain in one shot.
If it wasn't for that fucking DLC, I would have nominated that for craziest character death. I thought Void Kong was dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not much
And
longer.
who was next?
I think it was me.
Yeah. Okay.
No, wait. It was me.
Oh no, yeah, it
Then
was
you
you.
went
Sorry.
after me. No, you're fine. Okay, so this is gonna sound like a shocking title, but this is what it's called. Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle.
That's not my to read. It was good.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Chuck Tingle has been writing fiction for a while, but he is not really known for his serious story work. He writes books like Pounded by the Physical Manifestation of the Shockingly Massive Importance of Pre-Orders When Supporting Authors You Enjoy in the Traditional Publishing Industry, or The Handsome Sentient Baseball Hits a Home Run into My Butt. And those are
I forgot about this guy.
Oh my!
I forgot about this guy. Oh my God. Who?
Those are actual titles of stories he writes. But the thing is that he's very self-aware.
Yes.
But he started writing horror, and Bury Your Gaze is a horror story about a gay man who is a writer in Hollywood. He's not out yet, but all of a sudden the creatures,
just saw the chat.
the
Christ,
monsters that he has written are coming to life, and they are killing people. And he has to figure out why. We also learn why he wrote the characters this way, who they were inspired by, stuff like that. But I don't want to give the ending away because it's fantastic. But there's also an asexual character in here, and she was a lot of fun. It was just really well written, and again, I was shocked because I read his other book, Cap Damascus, which is also a gay horror story. So I'm like, oh, this will be good too. And this was also really good. And it just I'm gonna give like a tiny spoiler. There is somebody who ends up dying in the book, and the guy was a bit of an old fart, he wasn't a perfect man, but like the main character is like, he's got a daughter, and now he's dead, and it sort of was a good way to be like, this guy was not a perfect man. He might not even be a good man, but he has a daughter. Now she's got to grow up without a father, like showing like, relationships and also your emotions towards them are complicated. And it does go into the Bury Your Gaze trope, which it's, the reason he becomes like an author is there was like a show he watched when he was younger, and it was very obvious that the two like characters were supposed to be gay, but then they fucked it up like Hollywood usually does, and the character feels very realistic. So I read this with my book club, and some of them said it was a little cheesy. But even with that being said, I kind of appreciated the cheesiness. And it was also just something that I guess I kind of needed to read because, like, with all the stuff going on with all these shows getting canceled because of gay characters and stuff like that, it's nice that this book is unapologetically gay and is also calling out Hollywood for burying your gays, as the title implies.
Yeah, I love horror as a genre, but one of the things that I've always disliked about most horror and thriller is that we don't have a lot that have like a queer focus. True. So I'm excited to see that. This is on my to read. I'm very excited about it.
I think you'll love it. I know you're going to love it.
Yay!
Okay, and then for my last thing is my last video game is South of Midnight. So this is also something I'm going to try not to give spoilers for. But it is from Compulsion Games. They are the same people who made We Happy Few and Contrast. It is about a young girl named Hazel Flood. She lives in the Deep South, and this game is obviously very inspired by it, like the Southern Gothic like horror game. It turns out she is something called a Weaver. She has these like they're these hooks, and part of what a Weaver does is they have to untangle things called knots. And so again, that is what she uses. She uses her hooks to untangle the knots. But what happens is a flood is coming to the town of Prospero, and she and her mother live in like one of those mobile homes. And when the flood comes, it takes her house with her mother in it.
Oh no.
So, yes, and then she sees something. She's like, something took my mother. She then finds out that she is a Weaver, and she goes to save her mom while also discovering her powers. I have mentioned, like, she meets the catfish who helps her. The music in this is amazing. Again, I since I was raised in the South, I have a soft spot for, like, when I say country music, I mean good country music. The
not
Southern
arena country
soul,
rock.
yeah,
I
country
get it.
music, and that's one of the reasons I nominated the song Benji. But there's another song about another one of the bosses called Two Toed Tom, and it's really good because it sets up how scary Two Toed Tom is, because he's an alligator. But when you see him, he's huge. He literally has an island like growing out on his back, and he is pretty dang terrifying. But like, they also gave a story to like the bosses about why they became the way they were, and it also takes a lot of like Southern American legends and puts them, into the game. It does a really good job of blending all these things. I haven't finished the game, but I'm returning to it now that my computer can run better. But I have loved everything that I have played from it. It's left an impact on me, and I cannot wait to play more of it.
And I will be playing it when it releases on PS5 very soon. It's coming to Switch 2 and PS5 later this year, so I'll be checking it out when it's on a system I own.
Yeah, it was announced at the Gamer Awards because it won for Games for Impact.
Yeah, they announced, well, actually, it got leaked because Xbox can't be bothered to not leak something to save their life. But is that it for you?
I think so.
That just leaves Christine and Prince Luffy for top 3 or top 1 at this point.
Okay.
Or top,
well,
or top, whatever.
Smush these two next manga kind of together a minute because they're popular. So let's start with Don to Don. This was on my apologetic last year. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I finally did. And like, for those of you who don't know, the girl in the picture here, Momo, she believes in ghosts, but not aliens. And she ends up in like a conversation with something of a, like a loner in her class, whose real name is Ken Takakura, but she ends up calling him Okarun because she has a crush on the actor Ken Takakura, and she does not want that comparison. But he believes in, extraterrestrials, but not ghosts. Through some weird shenanigans, she ends up being abducted by aliens and gets extraterrestrial powers. He ends up possessed by a ghost. I didn't expect to enjoy this manga as much as I did. I feel like it's a great balance of action and comedy with an interesting metaphor that's very clearly about like growing up and like coming into your own as a person and puberty and maturity. And I think the character designs are really unique. I'm
I like that none of it feels like every arc feels kind of just different. Like they're trying to almost be like a different kind of manga. Like there's one arc where they're sucked into what is essentially a board game where they have to play by like board game rules. And I really like that because then it makes it feel like it's never stale. I don't know. I know that other people here watch the anime, so I don't know if they agree.
Yeah, I'm
with that.
anime only. That I don't mind a mild spoiler as long as it's not like major.
No, it's just like I like that even within the anime you could see like the arcs are very they're very unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the anime just did they did a whole episode where Ira and Okarun fight personifications of like the classical musicians. Like they fought Bach and Mozart.
There's like a love story between two like anatomical models. It's actually kind of really sweet.
Yeah.
Like I did not expect that.
Like a romance between two science class.
One that's more up to date and the other that's like more old fashioned that they were going to initially dispose of. There's yokai everywhere.
And as we saw in an earlier category, they're Exorcist heavy metal band.
Yes. Like I just never feel, some arcs, chapters and stuff seem to lean more into the like extraterrestrial aspects. Others lean more into the supernatural. There's one, I don't know if they got here in the manga yet, but one arc that involves what's essentially like giant robots. Like
there was a kaiju fight at the end of season 2. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, kaiju fight, which I feel like it's a bunch of different things, all kind of things that would interest teenagers and adults, but it feels eclectic. Yeah, it feels eclectic in a way that I like. All right, let's get to One Piece real quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
gotta go.
No, don't. No, you're not. Okay, you're not allowed.
If my username is any indication, I've been into One Piece for like 20 years.
Same.
But I often pause reading like lengthy manga like this that are very action heavy because I read too fast. So I haven't caught up since Punk Hazard. But in the last couple months, I read about 700 chapters in like a few days. John can attest to that.
They have been DMing me their reactions to key story points, and I've just been nodding my head. I'm like, John, don't say anything else. Don't say anything else. Just let them get to it when they get to it.
And but I guess you can attest to the speed at least.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Punk Hazard is like chapter 600 something, and One Piece is currently at 1100 chapters ish. And the image I'm using is from the 1000 chapter celebration.
Yes. And I caught up in probably like 3 days.
I think it was a bit more than that, but pretty faster than I would have.
I was having fun. The only reason I was even slightly slower is because I paused a few times to read Lunami fan fiction.
That is fair.
But it's still fantastic. I really, really liked the Wano arc. It was lengthy, but I loved it.
Wano was peak.
I liked the aesthetic. I liked the villains. It still shows me that One Piece, it still got it, man. Like
yes.
it still got that spice. It hasn't dipped in a way that lacks that doesn't impress me.
And that's going to continue when you get to the current Galbath. I just read this morning's chapter. Oh my fucking god!
I'm curious to see where the story ends up in the end. And
yeah, we're in the final saga now.
Yeah. Also, it makes me cry a lot too, and I don't hate that. I like that it helps me feel emotional about all the characters and their stories.
I'd also just like to say, as someone who is like getting into One Piece, it is very rare for something to be around for so long and still be good. That doesn't always happen.
Looking at you, The Simpsons.
Cough, cough.
Mhm.
Did I use
Detective
Star Wars?
Conan.
All right. And my last thing that I'm going to talk about is Pluribus.
I just like binged this because it is fantastic. So it's by Vince Gilligan of, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but it
Two of my
has
all-time favorite shows.
It has a pretty different feel. It has a similar yet different feel, because this, rather than being like a gritty crime drama-esque thing, it's sci-fi. It follows Carol Sturka, played by Rhea Seehorn, who is a romantasy author, and she has like a famous series called like Waikaro, and her main guy is like, super popular. He's like Edward, essentially, like he's super duper popular. But the reality of the situation for Carol, at least, is that she's a closeted lesbian, and her manager is actually her wife of 27 years. But in the first episode, we see what's happening simultaneously is that some sort of RNA sequence was picked up by like some people via satellite, like alien enthusiasts. It was then recreated in a lab, and it spreads extremely quickly via like bodily fluid. So we have like the early chapters involve the scientists, one of them played by the same actor who plays Dopinder in the Deadpool films.
Really?
Yeah. Coming and like smooching a janitor to like pass the RNA thing. And as but then they realize that like the others is what they're called, realize that they can't, like they're the government's catching on. So essentially the people they have control of, they use planes and they spread the virus in one big like thing, like they drop essentially vapor. And Carol, when someone is initially getting possessed, it's kind of terrifying. They have like a seizure. So the scene where this happens, Carol and her wife are like at a bar, and her wife suddenly drops. And then she like runs in the bar to get like, 911, and everyone in the bar is seized up and like spasming. And she like physically drags her wife like to the hospital, but everybody in the hospital is doing this. And it turns out her wife, unfortunately, she like wakes up for like a couple of seconds, and then she goes into cardiac arrest and she dies.
Jesus.
And she, like, Carol goes home, she's informed via the TV, because they're talking directly to her, like it's the Minister of Agriculture, because apparently during the joining, the president died.
Oh, geez.
Only her and 12 other people were immune to this. Everybody else in the world is part of this mass now of the others. And the others all, they all communicate telepathically. They're all like one being, essentially, mentally. It's some pod person shit. And she does not want to be like a part of this, but they're basically like, we're going to like assimilate you. And they start trying to like appeal to her in different ways. They send a hot lady named Zosha to be her quote unquote chaperone. And because right before she died, Helen joined, they have all of her wife's memories. And they're using that to try to like seduce Carol. And it's just this like, this fascinating, like thing where Carol, who has always been closeted, who struggles with her identity, who was sent to a fucking conversion camp as a teenager. Everyone in the world now knows she's queer. And she lost her wife. She's grieving her wife. And when she does meet the other survivors, the ones who speak English, they're all kind of fine with it because the others are still basically posing as their family and they're like, it's fine. And there's just this feeling like people think that Carol's angry and like a mean person, but I think that all of her responses are very understandable given the situation. And I'm really impressed with this. Vince Gilligan, I haven't gotten the chance to see Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul yet, but I've heard fantastic things about his storytelling, and I'm seeing that on display here. And I really love Carol as a character. People may dislike her because she's flawed, but I love seeing a woman be able to do all the things that a male character does and is called complex and interesting. And I think she should be able to be a little fucked up too.
Well, I mean, from what I went to look at Wikipedia and from what you said, she kind of has a right to be fucked up. I mean, and also like she's going through something very traumatic. Of course she's angry. She's allowed to be angry.
But like part of the problem is that one of the times when she is angry, it like for some reason like the others can't take it and it radiates like into them and it ends up like killing some people because their brain seizes. And so
Really?
like it's not her fault. Like how the fuck was she supposed to know that? And I agree with her. I think the other people who aren't joined, who are just kind of like going with it, are way worse than she is. I think that like for a character who is, a lesbian and was attempted to be essentially forcibly assimilated via conversion therapy, this sort of thing is like the worst nightmare you could ever imagine. And I like the complexity about it. It makes you think a lot about like morality and individuality and free will. And I think it's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend it. And that's my number one.
All right. So I think we have number one for Christine. That would think we already talked about that one at length pretty much too, I think. Was that Xenoblade Chronicles X?
Yeah.
We talked a lot about that in the beginnings. Do we want to talk about it again?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay, so that leads us to our final discussion, and this one will go back a little bit quicker, I promise. What are we most looking forward to in the new year? And why don't we flip this around, and I'll go last while Christina and Prince Luffy can go first with what they want or what they're looking forward to most next year.
All right.
Go ahead, Christina. I know you're tired, so you can go first.
Yeah, I am. Okay, so I only have 2 top 3s, but it's Deltarune Chapter 5. I'm excited for that.
Woo.
We don't know where the story is going, so I mean, maybe, I don't know. And then the Mario Galaxy movie.
The Mario Galaxy movie.
All right, so
yeah.
The things that I'm excited for, I'm gonna kind of zoom through these because I actually kind of paired several up. Ready or Not 2. Here I come. It's the sequel to Ready or Not. I really like these films. I loved the first one. I loved Abigail. I'm really looking forward to seeing Samira Wiley all like covered in blood again and murdering rich people. I'm here for that. I'm excited for the new episodes of the Amazing Digital Circus. We've discussed that as a series. And the 8th episode is coming out in, I believe, March. It is the final seasons of both The Boys and Yellow Jackets. So I hope they stick the landing. And finally, I'm excited for Invincible season 4 because I'm always excited about Invincible.
Yeah, and that we have that coming soon, actually, in March.
So excited.
Okay, who wants to talk about what they're excited for next year? Next,
Can go. All right. Y'all may call me basic, but I am very excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I am not immune to cute characters and the accidental dad trope. I love Pedro Pascal. I love Grogu. Of
So
course, I'm
fair.
excited for this. Next up is The Bride. So we talked about Frankenstein. Well, The Bride is about the Bride of Frankenstein. Now, The Bride of Frankenstein was not based off of a book. It was just a sequel because the first movie did well. But this is like, it's not really modern. It's like it's taking place in 1930s where the creature asks for a companion and he creates the bride. It is going to be directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, who I really love. Yes, and it's going to star Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, Peter Skarsgård, Annette Bening, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Penelope Cruz. So I am looking forward to that. And then next is also from Glitch Productions, Knights of Guinevere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There she is.
yeah, that
Okay,
show was
so
awesome.
this is
the pilot
a
was cool.
yes. So this is also, like I said, from Glitch Productions. It is a sci-fi psychological horror / thriller, and it is it was created and written by Dana Terrence, Zach Marcus, and John Bailey Owen. Terrence, of course, is known for the Owl House. I have not watched all of it, but I know I watched some of it, and I know she's good. This takes place in the future, and it centers around Park Planet, a floating, spinning amusement park, and
Actually, you kind of want to see this.
the icon, like how Disney has Mickey Mouse, is Princess Guinevere. However, people don't really like the park because it's causing, pollution. It
It's
causes people to
gentrified the neighborhood.
yes,
Like
people have to work for the park in some manner, and there's a lot of other stuff. And it also turns out that there's something up with one of the Guinevere androids. It focuses on the characters Frankie and Andy. Frankie is working in the factory while Andy used to work at the park, and they both kind of have a different view of the park and Guinevere. But what I kind of like is how the show doesn't, so far, it's not showing as either of them as wrong. And while this is also a very big middle finger to Disney, it's also being like, the art of Disney is not the villain. Because, which is apt because Dana Terrence did work for Disney, and it was apparently like a dream that they had, but there was, a lot of struggles because she had openly queer characters in her show. So I do like how, while this is being like, it's making jabs at Disney, it's also like the art and creations of Disney are not the enemies, capitalism is. And I'm also it's a return to 2D animation, and I really want more like animated horror. So I'm like looking forward to the rest of this. It got picked up for a series.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm really excited. Yes, I'm excited.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm next.
Yes.
Okay.
Austin, go.
The first thing I'm excited about is Marvel Token Fighting Souls. Now, I'm not usually into 2D fighters, but this one looks a lot interesting. Like, it's a very Japanese take on Marvel, and it's being developed by Arc System Works, which developed the Guilty Gear franchise and Dragon Ball Fighters. And what's interesting about this is Marvel apparently gave them a lot of creative control. Like, when they originally sketched Iron Man, they made him like comic accurate to how he looks, and the lead designer, when handed the design to Marvel, they looked unimpressed, and they said, something wrong? They said, look, it's great you're trying to make it accurate, but want to see how you would design Iron Man from the ground up. So they were just allowed to do whatever they want with the characters, like with the Arc System Works design philosophy.
I actually really like all of these character designs and their like outfits. Storm looks hot.
Yeah, like they made Iron Man look like a Gundam.
That's so fun.
I still wish this was my dream. I still wish this was Marvel vs. Shonen Jump by Arxis. It's almost what I want. Almost.
Also, Ghost Rider looks really cool like that.
Yeah, and I love that they went there with Robbie Reyes instead of Johnny Blaze. Because Robbie Reyes doesn't have a flaming motorcycle. He has a flaming limo.
Nice.
Limo. Awesome.
Yeah, and
Actually, limo. I think it's like it's a lowrider.
And here's how Iron Man looks like in the game.
Oh my god, that's so fun. I love it.
And my second most anticipated is yet another Marvel thing, Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward.
Especially since this is gonna be Doctor Doom's debut in the MCU. Slightly disappointed that we tried an old ground by having having Robert Downey Jr. play him instead of an actual Romanian actor. But it's like it's gonna be okay. And let me just. Sorry, I'm tired, everyone. It's so much.
It's okay. I can assist. I think this is Marvel's attempt that this is either going to make or break the rest of the MCU, because the MCU, regardless of one's opinion of it, has not been riding the high that it once did before, and it has actually been slugging a bit. So this is their attempt to put some juice back into it, and it's either going to do it or it's not. And we're going to find out which one it does less than a year from. Well, next podcast, we'll be talking about whether it did it or not.
Mm-hmm.
In December 8th, 2026.
Yeah, it might not even make the cutoff for next podcast, so who knows?
Yeah.
And I have my personal theories for what this is about and why, including Steve Rogers is coming back, and I got theories for why they're coming back, and I won't get into them until later on.
And finally, my most anticipated for 2026. Coyote versus Acme.
I'm happy you at least get to say that too.
Yeah, oh my
because
God.
You very nearly didn't.
Yeah, this was one of the biggest casualties of the Warner Brothers and Discovery merger, when David Zaslav just wanted to write it down for a tax break.
And it nearly did.
Yeah, and
glad that it saw the light of day.
Yeah, and then there was a small speck of hope when it seemed like they were willing to let other distributors buy the rights to it, but they basically just refused to let it go for anything less than $70 million.
Jesus fucking Christ.
To the point where they threatened to write it off again. And yet after Ketchup Entertainment released The Day the Earth Blew Up, another Looney Tunes movie they threatened to write off. They also picked up they finally picked up the distribution rights to this film. To the point, I was starting to really feel that we were never going to see this, and that Warner Bros. Was just going to bury the Looney Tunes. It was like, they deserve so much better than fucking Zaslav.
It's tragic.
Well, they've endured for what? How many decades? And like all this stupid shit is
almost a century.
Yeah.
And the premise, after so many failures to catch the Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote finally sues the Acme Corporation for selling faulty products. But the only lawyers willing to represent them are a desperate law firm in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Nice.
But to make things more dramatic, the head of that law firm turns out he'll be going up against his ex-boss, played by John Cena, who's now the head of the legal department for the Acme Corporation.
I was really hoping that his lawyer might be Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, that's how you're going to win. Apparently, I think the CEO or lawyer that representing Acme is being played by John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Cena is the lawyer for the Acme Corporation in this film. And it's been written by Sammy Birch, who actually won. Oh wait, so it's nominated for an Academy Award for the dark comedy May December. and she's actually writing the screenplay for this while I'll also come up with a story alongside Jeremy Slater and James Gunn himself. James Gunn is involved in this film, and even then they tried to kill it. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, Catch Up Entertainment saved it just like they did the day the Earth blew up.
Yay.
And on top of that, Eric Bozo will be returning to voicing several different Looney Tunes characters.
Excellent. That's good to hear. I love that Eric Bozzer continues to get work.
Yes.
All right. And to cap things off, my anticipated of the year. We've mentioned it quite a few times. Deltarune Chapter 5. We're fairly certain it's coming. I want to know what happened to Undyne. Where'd she go?
Yes.
My girl.
Where did she go? Where did she go when the Roaring Knight took her away? We didn't find out in Chapter 4. I want to know what happened to my girl.
Who's the Roaring Knight?
I have my guesses, but
So do I.
Something tells me Toby Fox gonna pull the rug under us, and we're all wrong.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's gonna happen.
And yeah, that's probably gonna happen. And my number 2 most anticipated is something I'm going to have my hands on very, very soon. Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So, after dealing with the duology of Ethan Winters and everything trying to take him away from his family, we are now going back to where it all began, Raccoon City. We're 28 years after it was blown up by a nuke. So, Grace Ashcroft, I believe is the girl's name, is investigating the murder of her mother, and she ends up in the crater that once was Raccoon City. And because we're going back to Raccoon City, we're also going to be playing as beloved Resident Evil protagonist and hot old man now Leon Scott Kennedy.
Yeah.
Why? Which is
Take
great
me
because
down to Raccoon City,
where they there's nothing left there. That place was nuked.
where
So I'm
the
looking
nukes
forward-
killed those people, but the girls were pretty.
So I'm looking forward. So this is going to marry two play styles of Resident Evil I love. I love the survival horror aspect, puzzle solving of it, but I also really love the Resident Evil 4 action game doing cheesy one-liners where you suplex zombies as Leon. This game is going to give us a 50-50 of both. The developers have said you're going to do survival horror as Ashcroft, but you're also going to do action style gameplay with Leon. An even split. And I could not be happier about it. And my number one anticipated, this one thing that if you told me 10 years ago was a thing and I'd be excited about it, I would slap you over the head with a sledgehammer. The second season of the live action One Piece produced by Netflix.
Damn straight.
This was the surprise to end all surprises, the first season of Netflix. I thought of all live action anime projects, the one that could not ever in a million years ever work would be One Piece.
And somehow they did
proved
it.
me wrong. They proved me wrong in ways I couldn't believe. This cast is stellar. This show uses actual sets along with CG. The showrunners are all run by legitimate fans of the series, and the cast is from people all over the world, not just Hollywood. There are Hollywood actors in here, but most of the actors are from South Africa, Germany, Spain, Japan, you name it. The cast is from all over the little world. And we have a second season coming in March that's going to cover the Rogue Town to Drum Island arc, which means we're getting Choppy Boy.
Chopper.
And he doesn't look horrifying. I was hoping he'd be a Muppet, but I'll take a pretty good CG.
Wait a second. I can nominate him for Scrimbo next year.
He already is on the document, which by the way, brings us to the end of the Super Reward Round 2026. Thank you all for sticking it out with me, and thank you to everybody that stuck it out this late into the night. Well, we almost hit 1 o'clock, but we're good. And Austin didn't fall asleep this time.
Yay.
Thank you guys all so much for joining. If you want to see more from us and you want to check out our other podcasts, please do. Check out Rudy and Austin's podcast, The Fuck Was That? Also check out the rest of the Super Bonus Round if you came here from the podcast. Austin, Prince Luffy, and I will be starting a playthrough of Final Fantasy VII soon. Also, we're wrapping up for Persona 3 Reload, as well as some other stuff that's going on. And don't forget to check me out on Twitch. I am going back to my Final Fantasy and Metroid marathon, as well as some other stuff going on. Thank you guys again so much for listening. We'll be back next year with the Super Reward Round. Until then, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
And never forget, I love you.